Cool. Well, we'll eventually get Rob Loud on here, but let's see what's going on. Go live with. Stand by. If you are a music photographer. What up from Brazil? What up? What up, dude? What up, 5X? To join. We're going to get Rob on here in a sec, but then if other photographers want to join, we'll just keep this convo going. Bamboozle you. No, this morning I was testing a software which lets me stream from my computer, which was nice, but I can't have other people on the call, so it won't really work. What up, Brandon? Just ask. How's the cat? I got you. Mark. I think I can pin it, right? Pin comment. One sec. Buddy. He hates this, so it'll be really fast. Just say hi. Say hi. Can you? Oh no. We're going. That's all we got for today. Alright, Rob should be here soon. Hey, that cat is the cutest. What up, everybody? And we're going to start with him, and then we'll cycle through whoever wants to come hang. And we'll do it that way. Beth, what up? I see you. I can't do it just yet because I got one person, but after him, then let's do it. You know? If a music photographer. Juan, I can't do it just yet, my friend. Because my friend Rob Loud's going to be here in 3 minutes, and we're going to start with him, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah. Let's see, Rob. Let's see if we can get him on. This. Oh yeah, Armin with the eggs. Let's go. Armin, I saw the fundraiser you did. I know it's months ago now, but I thought that was really cool. And I think I can congrats on raising all that money. I know it was related to your I have seen the Deftones. I've seen them a few times. I know it's related to where you're from. What up, Ralph? Dude, I miss you. You hanging out with my cousin? Dance. If I dance until he joins, everybody will leave. What up, Tim? Timmy? Should you commit tax fraud? Jesus Christ. If you're going to do something like that, don't. You guys, I'm not dancing. I'm a professional. Come on. Rob Loud is unable to join. Did I do something wrong? Speak Spanish? Como te llamas? Alright, I'm going to do it again. See if it works. Alright, Rob. Maybe it's because it timed out. My guy. Send request. Oh, cool. Spring Fever. 2014. Throwback. What up, Danny? Oh, there's a lot of hearts, dude. What up, Evan? What up, Dave? Thanks for coming. Connor crashed the stream. He's here rating it. Oh, my Connor? Yeah, dude, he should be working. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just kidding. What a bash. It's your turn, Juan. He can't join if you guys. I beg to differ. Yes.
What's up, dude?
What up, man? I self-admittedly have not done this. I don't think ever. Have you? Do you do this stuff?
What, Instagram Live?
Yeah, Instagram with other people.
I've done it a couple times, not like a ton. What, you're more like
Yeah,
a Twitch guy?
yeah. I was doing. I Twitch was more like a learning vessel for me than a destination. And I guess Instagram Live is cool, but I feel like Twitch trained me, and now I can like talk.
Yeah.
Now I can articulate.
I think my really only Twitch, I guess I've done a few, but I think the first time was with you. And there is a different like flow
Hmm.
between Instagram Live and Twitch, I think. And there's like a whole like lingo and just almost like an attitude, I think that goes into the Twitch world compared to the
Yeah, because
Instagram.
it's gaming
Right,
and it's
yeah,
fast
there,
moving, and
yeah,
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 yeah. No,
and it's also like if you don't, man, my phone keeps going dark, like as if it's gonna shut off for timeout.
it's not affecting what we see.
Okay,
It's been consistent.
um, but like I noticed, like you can kind of like tune out and like go do something for like a few seconds on Twitch, and it seems like not that big of a deal. Where here, I would find it, being the equivalent of like a radio DJ, like just not speaking for 5 or 10
Yeah,
seconds would be so awkward.
it's because Twitch streamers stream for like 10 hours.
Right. Yeah. And
They're
you're and
like crazy. I'm like, oh my god, how hard is that? Oh, it lagged for one
yeah,
sec. Now you're back.
yeah. See, my phone is just shutting off. That's
If you
so
need to
weird.
step out and try to fix something, go for it. But
Um, I don't can't imagine what that would be.
you might be on low battery mode. Somebody said
No,
you're on
I'm
low
pretty
battery.
good. I'm gonna plug it in though, just in case.
Okay, cool. What up, everyone? Thanks for coming, and appreciate all the kind words. And we've got some good people in here from Twitch, from Discord, from the good communities that exist online. And yes, happy Friday. Hopefully Rob will come back. And Robert is here. Hi. Well, thank you. TRLD. What about TLDR? Aliens, boom. Thank you. All right, Rob has left. So we'll get Rob back in here in a sec. Obviously, he's dealing with some technical difficulties. Stand by, which is fine because the internet, yeah. All right, so now let's talk about me and both my cats. Juan, who are you? You're funny. Well, Ruben, if you have some spare money, of course, come and hang out, but I would encourage you to save it for a camera. The Patreon's more about touring. Who's Ollie? And who's Bobby? Looking forward to see Bobby. Oh, yeah, he was just here, guys. He just got disconnected, so he'll be back, hopefully. See if he emailed me, texted me. He did not. Have you been shooting anything during COVID? Requesting. Oh. Wait, let's see. Oh, let's see. I got you. It says so I send a request to you, Rob. There we go.
Okay,
You're all good?
we'll see.
Hey, at least it's like, yo, I used to think it was like a really big deal and get really bummed when something like that would happen. Now I'm just like, it just happens. It just, it just is.
That's the Twitch in you, man. That's it.
That's
That's
the
it's fine.
2020.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
Good. I am in. I've been pretty good throughout this whole quarantine, despite missing out on a 9 month world tour. Like a month or two before I was about to kick off.
So just
But I,
Corona basically is the exact span of your tour.
yeah, yeah, and of course, you have this scheduled for a year, 6 months to a
Mm-hmm.
year, at least part of it, and so you know it's getting closer. You're getting excited, and then I remember thinking because I was on a little tour with a band with White Reaper, and their stuff they were starting to like get a little concerned if things were going to get canceled. I'm like, Killer's tour is in like 6 weeks. Clearly,
Yeah.
we'll be okay. You know,
Yeah, and
and
that's
that
a
was,
long time from now.
I mean, that was, you know, 11, 10 months ago, I guess now or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
at that stage where it's just like really Groundhog Day, and sanity, keeping my sanity is can be challenging at times, but overall, I think I'm dealing with it pretty well. How about you? How have you been?
Better than I was a few months ago. I think I found my like routines. I think I have stuff I'm working on. Like have a little bit more purpose about what I'm doing. Obviously, I mean, I like photography, but I really just like photographing live music.
Mm-hmm.
Portraits are fun. I enjoy them when I'm with people on tour, but I'm not like, wow, I just can't wait to get to the studio today. Um, I like photography, but I've learned that I'm very much just a live music / lifestyle photographer. I like weddings too, like my friends' weddings
Mm-hmm.
because I care about them, but
Yeah.
that's about it. So I don't know. I think I learned a lot during this time, and I know it's been way worse for a lot of other people. So I'm not super,
Right.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
And yeah, but thank you for coming today. I figured you'd be a good
Sure.
person to start this off with, especially because you like reached out, and I was like, oh, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, with your post, like as soon as I saw that post, I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to sink into these comments." With this sort of concept, especially like people in like varying levels of their
Yeah,
career, um, and it's not something that gets talked. I mean, it's something that gets bitched about a lot. It's not something that gets discussed a lot. At least publicly.
it's weird. Like maybe we could talk about that first. I think it's hard because people don't share how much they're getting paid. It's like it's not always their information to release slash.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Why don't people talk about it?
Well, I mean, I think it talking about money and how much you make, is tacky, and that's been a thing for a long time,
Yeah,
and uh,
that's true.
it, it's like one of those things where like, and you may be experienced like if you're telling a story about, it's sort of like the equivalent to like name dropping. Like sometimes like you don't want to name drop, but like
Hmm.
that's who you're with, or that's who you're photographing.
It makes you
The
feel
same thing
like
with
this
money.
weird, uncomfortable, like, all right, don't call me out right now. I'm aware that this can sound weird, but this is just my life
Right.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's part of the job. And so I think the same thing is with money, where it's like my friend who I grew up with, who makes a lot of money. He does not do photography. His job, he's a salesman basically, and so
Hmm.
he would tell me how much money he would make often, and he would tell me like, I tell you because I know I'm not bragging about it. It's just the scale of my success and like how like that I'm doing well, and I'm stoked that I'm doing well. So how do you
Yeah.
say like, oh, I just made X amount of money on a job without sounding like you're bragging, or cocky? So
Yeah. No, I
it's
agree
a
with
hard
you.
barrier to break.
Because once you like start, no, I agree with you. Like my closest friends know how much money I make, but they only know that because I can tell them, like you said, without them thinking that I'm trying to brag. Like I'm comfortable. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever felt this way before, but when people reach out to me for help or critiques, I first preface it with like, do you want me to like be very blunt with you and like you
Mhm.
like can this person take that information for what it is, or will
Right.
they infer other things about of you that you are out of your control, like oh they think you're an asshole or that you're bragging about something, I guess. um,
Yeah,
I don't know, that's kind of how I
especially if you
relate to
don't
what you
know
said.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you don't know someone, because people take things differently. Like some people need to be told, yeah, the truth, and some people need to be babied a little bit, or like kind of pushed into a direction instead of, um, or subtly pushed into a direction instead of being shoved. So, but it's like I think anything. It's just talking about money is it feels weird. I think, and so I don't know. What's the goal here? Try to knock those balls down. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, I think that the goal is to there's to me when I was trying to figure out where to start, I originally wanted to do a Twitch stream. I couldn't figure out where to start. I felt like there was like three things we had to figure out first. or explain to people to get everybody on the same level. And I think one of the big things about music photography that sets it apart from other industries, and you can agree and disagree, is that the amount of money you make ranges so astronomically
Hmm.
based on who you're working with. So on one job, like let's just use X as a variable, you can make X, right? Like let's say $100. One job you can make $100. That same photographer could make $10,000 on another job
Hmm.
just because it's a different artist.
Right.
Because these, and it's not like they're doing 10 times as much work or the job is 10
Mhm.
times harder, but in the music industry, it's just bigger clients pay more money for sometimes the same thing. Or, so I think that's why it's hard to share, is because you're almost giving away information about a client that you don't have permission to give away.
Right.
Like, hey, they
Well,
paid
yeah.
me this much.
Right.
You know?
That is that. I think that's a big thing. Yeah, because when you're working with like a commercial client, like
Earthquake.
if I tell Instagram Live that I made X amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
like like Kind Bar, who is a client of mine, like they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to go on like message board and be like, can you believe Kind Bar paid only paid him this much or paid him this? Like no one gives a shit, you know. But if it's a
Yeah.
band, people are going to go in and start talking and be like, oh, that band's cheap. I can't believe so and so only pays him this much or pays them that much. So it becomes a more personal thing, which is a lot of what music photography is.
Yes.
And there's like this weird blend where, especially like as you get to know bands and you become kind of friendly with them, and it's sort of important, whether it's, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between commercial photography and music photography, and like for example, like what you were saying with
Yeah.
the difference of what bands pay. Like if a client, if a company reaches out, say a commercial client, and they want to do something, the first thing I do is I go to Google and I look at who this company is, and I'm like, okay, they're a publicly traded company. All right, they
Yeah.
have money.
Yeah.
Okay, if they have money, they probably have done photo shoots before. That means they probably understand things like licensing and what it takes to go into this kind of shoot. If it's smaller, you may need to work through that a little bit or work through the process a little bit more. And maybe no, you're going to get less, but at least you're educating them along the way. So even if you don't get it, maybe the next photographer would, or the next time they need something, they'll come back to you. Same thing with music. You go on Instagram. Okay, they have 3,000 Instagram followers. Okay, they probably don't have a huge budget.
Mm-hmm.
They go on, they're some band that you've never heard of from like another country, and they have 7 million. You're like, okay, they're in a major label. They have a lot of money. So it's like so trial and error.
Yeah, and then there's like the flip side of with music photography, and this is relatable in commercial too, although in commercial I think it's more often that you're not allowed to even say you shot stuff sometimes. You just have to shoot it and be
Right.
like, they just own, they don't want to be associated with a human being who can mess up the credibility of their company. But in the music industry, it's very normal for like, let's take an artist, let's take like Rihanna. If I were to photograph Rihanna and Rihanna would just say I photographed her, and they were now associating me with her brand, like that does so much more for my career than money ever would. And I think that a lot of people recognize this and kind of build their career off this in the music industry. Like it's like, and I know now there's like some people who limit, the photographer's ability to use these images for their own, like progress, I guess you'd say. And so it's like, I don't know, that it's kind of a weird thing that I think like what's more valuable, where you at in your career, there's like so many components. And so I don't know, that's why when I think I asked that question, I think a lot of those people that said free, they're not doing it for free because they're not getting anything out of it, but what they see themselves getting out of it isn't money. At least I think. I don't know. What do you think? I know that was a lot at once, but
Well, like kind of what you were saying. There's been weeks where, um, you know, I've worked for free and have
yeah,
made, you know, in the thousands. You know, I think sort of my personal thing with working for free, which I've been, has kind of been like the standing order for a long time, is that like if I go to them, I would do it for free. If they come to
yep,
me, I wouldn't.
I agree
And
with that.
it's just sort of been like my rule of thumb. But in that, it's important that they understand that, you're not just doing this because you're a nice guy. You know, like you expect to get something out of this as well, and maybe that's not going to come right out of their pocket, but that like you see a value in doing what you're doing. You're
Hmm.
not just showing up for exposure. So you have to see real value in that. And so I think a big part of like music photography is networking and meeting people like on a more personal level, but also maintaining that it's still a business and that you still need to be paid and you still need to be able to pay your rent or mortgage or be able to afford gear and things like that. That it's not just out there to like have fun and go to a free show.
Yeah. No, I
I,
agree.
I kind of lost track of what you said and what I said, but
It's okay. I'm just like getting so in depth of what you're saying. I forgot the question too, but
yeah.
I was just going to bounce off what you said and say that for what now might be like, let's say Rihanna. Let's just say like in my career right now, Rihanna is like who I would shoot for free or something because it would help me so much. It's just astronomical. When I started, I would say my parallel was going to the concert. Like
Mhm.
that to me was it's 15 years ago, but for me, just being able to get into the concert, be in the front row, and have the opportunity to take these pictures that I can say that I'm a music photographer was so valuable. And even if the artist would offer me, let's say like $20 or $50 or something to like kind of cover my time, I would almost rather do it for free because now I'm not worth that much. Like
Mhm.
now I haven't put this price, I've done it, I've given them a favor, but I haven't like put myself in that category of, hey, we want the $50 photographer. Let's go with him. Oh no, let's get somebody better,
Right.
you know? So it's like, there's so many things to think about. And I maybe we don't have to come to a conclusion. Maybe we just talk about it. And
Yeah.
that's,
I have a very clear idea.
mhm.
And then like the last like hour or two, I was thinking about this call so much and I was starting to like feel anxious. I'm like, I actually don't know what the answers are to this. I mean, so much of it is feel, and it's like what feels right in this moment and
Mhm.
and how do I fairly represent myself and how do I fairly represent the industry, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I think nowadays, like I've been shooting for 15 years, very much not in the age of Instagram. I think like
Same. I
young,
think we started about the same time then.
okay,
I mean,
so,
I think I don't know how old you are, but I'm
I'm 41.
okay. So you're 10 years older than me, but
We're
we
10 years
still,
older and we started at the same time.
well, yeah, I mean, I started when I was 15, 16 in high
Holy
school.
shit! Did you really?
Yeah. But
I haven't even picked up a camera yet. That's amazing.
thanks. But the progress I was making when I was 15, 16 in high school is not the same progress you're making when you're 25 starting. I'll let you
I
know.
don't know. I've been going through old photos from like early 20s lately, scanning them, and I can assure you that I don't know if I believe that, but
Well, regardless, we started at the same time, like the same year, right? What is that,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
2004 or 5?
yeah, around
Um,
there, yeah.
yeah, so we kind of started shooting with the same economy existing, the
Hmm.
same time that however many photographers were going to. Did you start with music? I don't remember. I know.
Not really, no.
Okay. When did you get into music?
Well, so I shot for Getty Images.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I
that
forgot. A
that that
Getty
was
guy.
my sort of intro into photography. Like I decided I wanted to do photography. I had already graduated with a computer science degree,
Damn,
and
respect.
so I thought that, well, like how do I learn? I'm gonna like start interning and just figuring this out. I took one photo class in college, so I started interning, and through one of three internships, I was getting paid $40 a week between three internships postgraduate because I was getting college credit, but I already graduated, so I didn't need the credit. But this is how I was learning. So I met a Getty, well, at the time, Wire Image
Okay.
editor who like started putting me on like the worst assignments. And I lived in Manhattan, and so they would be like, "Are you available to shoot like this show or this like event?" I'm like, "Sure." When is it? Like, well, it started 10 minutes ago. I was just like the last phone call.
All
And I
right.
just started getting progressively better and better. Maybe not so progressively, but I was getting better. So
What you
shooting
believed
every
was
single day.
better, at
Yeah,
the
I mean,
time.
you're getting thrown into like, shooting like a red carpet, then you're shooting like a party, then you're shooting a concert, then you're shooting, a meet and greet, like just shooting all these things. So you're learning your
Yeah.
camera really quick. So through that, I started getting like more and more music assignments, and I love music. You know how most music photographers get their gigs, or want to be in this field is they love music. So started shooting more, and as I started branching out more into commercial photography, I always kind of kept a foot in music, and then sort of like a break, if you want to call it that.
Hmm.
4 years ago, I met the Killers at a festival that I was working for in Canada,
Oh yeah, I remember you
and
telling me
they
about
liked
that.
my photos enough to kind of offer me like a tryout tour position like the next weekend, and so
Okay.
that was like 4 years ago.
That's such
So
a cool story because it's like how people envision it, kind of, but it's not always the majority of how people get jobs. But I love hearing when I do hear those stories because it's such a good, like, I hope that happens to me. I want to be good
it
enough to where they pick me, you know?
it was, and like like so much of touring is like a personality match, so it's like, okay,
It's a
well, we at
hang.
least kind of like his photos, and as they're like going through my photos, I'm not like fanning out or being weird, like, because through Getty I had done enough like celebrity interaction stuff that, like, I mean, it was cool, it was cool, but it wasn't like this holy shit moment
You could see them as
that had a lot to
people.
do with it. Yeah, and so my friend was in the room experiencing this, and it was like a pretty crazy situation of like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you from? Do you want to come on tour with us? And like that was it, you know. But of course, I
Yeah.
expected it to not happen, just because
Yeah.
as photographers or freelancers, you should think that way. But it did
I tell
happen.
them,
So
like, on the plane and at the venue, I'm like, this isn't happening. This isn't happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Just so,
that's good though, because otherwise you're gonna be disappointed a lot.
dude, the amount of times I've had, like, what in my, where I was at my career, I would consider like big breaks or things that I was excited about. I would say 9 out of 10 got canceled or didn't work. You know, it's so many. And after a while, I was like, stop setting yourself up for this, man. It's fun though. It's fun to get excited.
It is, but like it sucks way worse when things don't happen.
I'll pay for my own ticket. Just put me in Australia.
Yeah, like we can figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the thing though, when you shoot things like that you want to be part of it, it's hard to not sell yourself short
Yeah.
for opportunity.
Yeah. I think what we're going to kind of find the line on here and what most people's conclusion are they're going to come to when we talk, I think will be how much money can you get paid to do a live shoot?
Hmm.
And if you were to do it for free, how much value would it apply to your career? Or is there, it's kind of like you have to find your line, and
Hmm.
or how much damage can it do? Because there's definitely both aspects. But like you said, and like I know, the thing that is such a big deal in this industry is just who you know or who knows you. And I think, like, me and you have similar goals, right? We want to be in this for the long run. We want to work with artists for long periods of time. To me, doing even a handful of things for free just to do them and meet people is almost a no-brainer because all I need is one or two people to work with consistently to make like if let's say I get paid $150 to do a live shoot in a night, it's not going to pay my rent, it's not going to pay my mortgage, it's whatever. It's not career money. So to me, it's worth it to do that for free for the chance at finding somebody that leads to career money. I don't. Does that make sense? It's like almost doesn't even exist any. Am I still? Am I? Check
Uh,
check 1 2 3.
but now you're good.
Okay.
I lost for the last like 10 seconds.
All right. It wasn't super important.
Um, so yeah, so like where do you draw the line? I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I guess there's like the big questions are like I know what I want to do in my career because I know my goals. But
Hmm.
are there people out there, or even does it exist anymore, to be like we know the industry's changed with the internet and everything, to be just a live music photographer as a career, and are people doing it for free directly responsible for removing that, or is that just where the industry is now?
Yeah, actually it's funny. I haven't looked at the comments, and the one comment I see is a band I work with out of Austin
Is
who
that
said,
Mendadum?
me and Adam, yeah, damn straight, I never
Oh.
paid this dude in my life. Um, they're
Mendad Adam.
so
Sorry.
like they're an example of a band, which isn't true.
Yeah.
I don't want to make them. I think they're cheap, but they are really good friends, and they're friends because of my networking and my desire in putting myself out there. Like,
Hmm.
I remember if it was the first post you made about this subject with someone saying like, tour photographers and band photographers are like, usually friends with the band. And like, sure, that's true. But like for a lot of people, like, how do you become friends with the band? Is
Yeah.
networking. Like I wasn't friends with the Killers. I put myself in a position to shoot a festival. I didn't know I was going to meet them, but like I put myself in these positions to meet people and to succeed, and it's like the old like cheesy sports, expression like you know you miss whatever, like all the situations that you know.
Wayne Gretzky,
It's
Michael
like
Scott. You missed all the
yes,
shots you don't
Wayne
take.
Gretzky, Michael Scott one, yes. Well, you miss all the shots you don't
100% of the
take,
shots you
basically.
don't take. Yeah.
And like that's so true. Like actually, the reason I brought that up is I had another sports analogy that I usually use. Whatever, that's another story. But okay, so me and Adam, this band that who's chiming in, um, I they're a newer band. I see how hard they work. I see where they're going. So like I have um, like a personal interest in them, but also like I have there's part of like I want to be the guy. Like if you're going through like a Pearl Jam book, say, and you're like, damn, like I would love to have been there, in like 1993 or 1995, whatever. These like shitty pictures of them in like a basement. Like
Yeah,
there's
you want to
part of
be
me
there.
that wants to do that. I want to be there. They're so
And
you
they
know
can't pay you for that if they're that small. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
no, well, yeah, but I mean, but they do when they can, but there's also a part of it that where it's like I'm investing in it as well. I'm investing my time into it as well.
Hmm.
Like there's another band. So I'll try to be somewhat open since this is what we're trying to do. So there's a band White Reaper that I was talking about before. Like I work with them. They're on a major label. I met them because they were opening for the Killers. I work with them. I reached out to them to work with them. Like I see them going places. I'm interested in them. They're great guys. They're super easy to work with. So I came to them, and they're like, "What do you mean? Like you want to work with us?" So, and like yeah, because like I feel like I'm capturing something. Like they had
Yeah.
the number one. They had a number one alternative Billboard song this year, and I'm like on tour with them while this is happening. Like I'm capturing a moment in their career. And so they had like a big label paid for gig come up recently, and so they hired me for that. And so I got paid, a good rate, especially for a band of that size.
That
They
label
came back to
money.
me basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, label money. And so now I have a relationship with the management. So I'm like, okay, and this is the same thing with my commercial clients. I'm like, you tell me, like, what are we working with? And so and my clients who I'm closest with are like, okay, look, maybe we're gonna. It's a little on the lower side, but the next one will maybe make up for it. Or yeah, we got money. So I throw quotes out and like we got more, or we got less. That's all has to do with relationships because
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than putting out a quote and then immediately writing back and being like, done. And you're like,
Yeah. You're like,
shit,
oh, I went too low.
went way too
Yeah.
low, man. Like didn't even negotiate. I went way too low.
Yeah. It's delicate, and like I think I can relate on a level where I was trying to think of situations where I didn't get paid, and when I eventually got paid, and I think that most of almost everybody I toured with in like early 2010, 11, like the photographer job didn't really exist,
Mm-hmm.
slash Instagram didn't exist. So I was just shooting, and I was retaining, I was making these relationships, and I was making money by selling my own prints and doing my own thing because they just didn't have, it just wasn't even a job they were on the lookout for. But now, like, that I'm an established photographer, and I'll have friends who I've worked with come to me and be like, "Hey, can you shoot this artist? We can't really afford you right now. We understand that, but we'd love to." And then I kind of talk to them. I'm like, "Look, for me, it's not really about money all the time. I just am looking for those relationships. So if this is somebody that I can photograph now and grow with, I like weigh that more, so much more than something that maybe pays me more money, but is a little more transactional. Like we do the shoot, we're done. We don't ever talk again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Yeah, I think I had another thought I was reading, but yeah, it's just, yeah, there's so many. I think there's just so many variables that it's just so different for everyone.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with just figuring out what makes the most sense for you, but also keeping the industry in the back of your mind. I think
Hmm.
when you think that way, like if I'm going to do something and I told you, like, would I be embarrassed by telling you, like, hey, this is what I'm doing? Would you be like, "Ah, dude, really? You did that? You did the Rihanna shoot for $100?" And I'd be like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like things like that, like what's going to keep you honest and what's going to be good for the industry,
Yeah, it's
it's weird. And like you were saying though, like when we started, yes, Instagram, like the tour photographer idea was like kind of gone. Like that was in like the 70s, like early Rolling Stone days, like the
there was a
magazine
few.
Rolling Stone.
There was like Ryan Russell, I think, was shooting a lot of like Paramore, My Chem, Take
Hmm.
Back Sunday stuff, and then I think Bergman and Clinch were going,
But
and
they
that's
weren't like,
all.
but they weren't really like, well, like at least like Clinch, like I don't know if he was like a tour guy. He
He was
had
just
like
portrait at festivals,
he,
kind of.
but he was like the relationship where he like the band would be coming in and be like, hey, I'm gonna like hop on the bus for a couple of days,
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
that
like
kind of thing.
embedded.
Which is sort of like the best of both worlds. Like where
Yeah,
you have that kind of relationship, like I could ride the bus with them for a week and it's whatever, as opposed to I need to commit 6 months out of my calendar on this
yeah.
because it kind of handcuffs you. Like I have flown from like there was a killers tour in South America. Like I flew from Peru to Boston back to like Costa Rica in like a 48-hour period, like because I had a gig that was big enough to warrant that me to hop off tour. And like, so sometimes, when I first got the gig, I'm like, I've been working, building all these clients, commercial clients. I'm about to completely give that all up
Yeah,
because
you.
there's only so many times they're going to call and then you say, I can't be there. You're going to start calling the other person.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Damn, we should answer some questions,
Yeah. I
and
can
I
talk about this all
also,
day.
yeah, I
I
wanted to
can
say
fire it
too
up.
before we get into it that I was thinking about when I had made my biggest sum of money. What was like my most profitable like music photography job? And it's weird because the thing I made the most money off of in music photography after every year, even if I think you would take a total amount of money a band made me, is when a company purchased like 15 images from me.
Mm.
For commercial uses, like we're talking about, and all those images were all these images I had taken on. They didn't have the artist in them. They didn't even have a fan. They were like stock music photography images. And it was just so funny to me because it was like the images that I took just because I was there. And,
Right.
it changed the way I shot from then on out. Like whenever I shoot something, I'm shooting for the artist I'm with, but then I'm also getting like shots that I can use for something and shots that a company could use. It's like, and it was just so weird to me to be like, damn, these are the companies with like the money. I don't know.
I mean,
It's crazy.
this was a hard habit to break for me when I was shooting for
Hmm.
Getty because I would go to Bonnaroo and I have this, photo pass and I basically like I would be at a festival not being paid unless the image is sold. So I'd get 50% of the sale. So I'm
Hmm.
like, well, shit, I'm gonna shoot 25 vans this weekend. Like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna like,
Biggest amount of people.
yeah, but you end up shooting like a robot. It's like, okay, here's this perfectly clean vertical shot of the lead singer, guitar, like whatever, and here's a horizontal one. You start shooting like a freaking robot
It's very
because
transactional, not emotional.
yeah, it's because okay, this is going to be like the thumbnail that Rolling Stone runs. Like if there's like a little blurb about them, or this is the picture that like Martin Guitars is going to like run of like whoever playing like the acoustic guitar. So it built it. I formed really bad habits, and it took a long time to break them. Of not shooting like loose and shooting like with more of a feeling involved as opposed to how do I sell this stock image of this artist that I'm lucky enough to be shooting.
Yeah, no,
But
that makes sense.
to your point, that's how I was making money. And so yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll get my Getty statement and it's like inflated one month, and I'm like, what's the deal with this? And I'll see like, oh, a Jay-Z picture sold for $2,500 to like some venue, that
Yeah.
because they probably like want to hang it up in their like hallway or something.
It's like stock. It's like stock music
It's stock
photography.
photography,
Yeah.
yeah. So
What a
you
wild
know,
world. It's almost like a different type. It's like I think music photography is so many things encompassed in it that and those things are hard to break down to somebody who doesn't have like a ton of experience. You know, like you just don't see. It's like I don't know. It's like when I listen to a type of music for the first time, I'm like, this all sounds the same.
Hmm.
But if you know, talk to somebody who really knows metal music or
Right.
something like, oh, there's like 15 genres in
Uh-huh.
this.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, that's
Yeah.
how I kind of think of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, I think one tip for people is that like, and I'm guilty of this. Like, don't just shoot for Instagram. Like, that's where you get your feedback. But like, we're not shooting a concert for Instagram. Like, Instagram may not even exist in 10
speak for
years.
yourself.
Excuse me. Uh,
I'm just kidding.
but you know what I mean? Like, Instagram may not even like Instagram could be MySpace. You know, in 10 or 15 years. Like, how is
So it
this
could,
photo going to live on? Like, it doesn't stop. This photo isn't going to stop at this little ass screen, you know,
yeah.
that is 2 inches wide, you know.
No, I see what you're saying.
And
It's
so,
hard because everybody
yeah,
has different goals too. You know, like I know we say we're not shooting for Instagram, but Rob, there are people out there I think who legitimately are, and that's their job. You know what I mean? Like they're
right,
hired by, like I get what you're saying though. Like people, at least I would say I relate to you on this level. Like we really find value in working with artists and finding those images that go farther, if that makes sense, that are a moment of history. So
yeah.
I understand the point you're making there.
Well,
Um,
maybe there is a way to do some for Instagram. Like for me, how I like to maximize my um like shooting like say like a one-off concert experience is
hmm
shooting some stock stuff because
hmm
I no longer contribute to Getty because they're a pain in the fucking ass and they make the artists pay them for me to upload a photo. It's so stupid. Even someone like me who has exclusive access to like things that will sell, they still want to be paid on this. It's the whole thing. I've been on a very
Sounds
like
like we need to take out Getty. All right,
yeah, like
guys.
I sometimes I post on my stories like my statements and how like getting paid 60 cents for an image, and then I get 30 cents of that.
You want
So
us to
I'm
write
all
you a
about
check, or you want us to just send you a
yes,
gumball?
yeah, right. But I think there's ways to maximize it by like so whether you're shooting like some stock stuff or you're shooting some more like artistic stuff for Instagram, or you're shooting more like photojournalistically like for like the book in 30 years. Like
Yeah.
I think all of these things are important to keep in the back of your head. If monetizing is like important to you. Some people are
Yes.
just artists and don't give a shit. But they're
Yes.
broke.
Yo, I looked at the clock. It's been 40 minutes, and I feel like it's been 3.
Okay.
So we should answer a few questions here. I'm going to try to find one. Let's start with Armin because I love his questions. I'm clicking it here. All right. Can you see that? Does it pop up for you too?
Yeah.
Are you able to make a comfortable living just off of music photography alone, or do you need a side hustle to survive? You want to go first?
Yeah. Music photography is in a way my side hustle. Like I still can make my year with like 2 or 3 commercial shoots. And again, I've been building up clients for years and I've been doing this for a year, so it's not just going to happen where you can get a larger size commercial client. But yeah, it's tough. At least live music photography only. If you want to make a career out of music photography, you got to get in on the licensing. You got to get in with labels. I think it goes beyond just live photography.
Yeah, I think that, at least in my opinion, I don't believe it's out of your control the amount of people that want to shoot a concert. Like, just to be blunt, like any fan in the audience wants to shoot that concert. Like, if you were said,
Mhm.
"Hey, we're not going to pay you, but here's a camera," they would do it. They would say, "Okay, let's
Oh
go
yeah,
do it."
yeah.
And because of that, I think that the industry has changed, whether I like it or not. It's I can't take the whole industry and say you have to charge for this. I think that's I don't think that's how it works. Sometimes I think you just have to say, okay, this is what's happening. We need to embrace it. And I kind of think that it's very difficult to make a living off of just live music photography, just shooting. I think you need to work exclusively for a venue, maybe. But if you're just trying to get like one-off gigs with publications, even publications are having a hard time right now. It's not
Oh yeah.
like it's so changed. So I think that's one of I don't know, the things about it. And for me, I don't make a living just off music photography. I do more so now that I sell like prints.
Mm-hmm.
That's helped a lot. I never really knew how to do it before in a way that I wanted to. Now I work with Morrison Hotel and I just love it. And it's a lot, that's kind of what I have been going for. But prior to
Is
that,
that primarily how you sell prints through Morrison? Through
yeah,
Morrison
I
Hotel? Yeah.
Morrison like helped me kind of like I'm so new to it that I didn't even know like how to sign, how to number, like how to do all these things correctly. So I
They
had to
taught
like,
me too.
yeah,
Yeah.
they oh, you sell through them too?
Okay. Yeah, I have a
Damn.
couple prints with them.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's so many people on there. I'm like trying to get caught up. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I mostly sell through there and I'm trying to start to do more on my own, but I just need to set it all up. But I think that is how, and I know selling prints is really difficult to even explain to people, but I wouldn't sell prints of somebody that I don't know, don't think would want me to.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't, that's a whole nother world. Let's
Yeah.
get one or two more questions here. Um, let's see. I think this one's good from Falcone. How is your mentality, or how is
I think mentality. Yeah.
yeah, how is your mentality different from a shoot you do for free versus a paid opportunity?
Um, for me, I think for free, I want to make sure like I'm driving the ship, and that not that like I'm because I'm never pushy,
Hmm.
um, but like that it's known that it's like I'm sort of driving the ship here, you know. I mean, of course, I'm always going to be open to be like, hey, like you're here. Do you mind? Can we like try this? Of course, I'm going to say yes. But like, I think it's important. Um, and again, like all these things, like there's no answer like how to do this. It's just sort of like a skill you kind of learn, whether it's like dealing directly with like managers, and this is important, I think, across the board, where like sort of dealing directly with the artist isn't like really the best business practice. It's better to keep things like cool, you
Yeah,
know?
you want to keep that more, get the hard questions to the management. Don't make the person you work with all day have to tell you no.
Right. And then like the singer's like, wait, this costs how much? Like they have no idea what anything like. So talk to the
Yeah,
people who do that, who like sign the checks in a way. So I think mentality wise, yeah, I think it's just kind of doing what I'm setting out to do first, and then kind of taking lead from the band.
yeah,
What
well,
do
that
you
makes
think?
sense. Um, yeah, I mostly agree with you. I think I don't disagree with you. I just think that when it comes to live music photography, yeah, it doesn't really it's almost the same, I guess you would say, because I guess when it's paid, then I guess this is similar to yours, then I do what they want because they're paying me. But
Mm,
if it's free, then I think of it more as a collaboration. It's like,
right. Yeah.
hey, you want me to be here, I want to be here. I'm going to do my thing, and then hopefully in the future it leads to something where you like it so much that you want me to be at things that I don't want to be at as much, but I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's fun and something like that. Um, I
I
guess.
think that's actually more what I meant. Like,
Yeah, I think you just
because I
explained it
would
the
never,
other way. What do
but
they
yeah,
think?
like, I would never, like I said, I would never be pushy or overly pushy.
Yeah,
So it's not like I come in and it's like, all right, listen up, you know.
I'm in
But yes,
charge here, guys.
this is a collaboration. Yes.
Yeah,
So
we're
I
working
like the way you
together.
put it. Yeah.
No, I had to really think about that. It's different for press shoots too. Like I know everything we're talking mostly about live photography, but for press
Hmm.
shoots, like for people who haven't done that, some magazines pay a couple $100. Some
Hmm.
people pay a couple thousand. Some people pay tens of thousands if it's like a big shoot.
Yeah.
And I honestly, no matter how little the budget is, and I've talked to other photographers, it's just the same effort is put towards. Like we're just
Oh
always doing
yeah.
our best. It's not like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm getting paid less than I want. I'm gonna try less. That only hurts yourself.
You probably work harder on the shoots that you get paid less because you
Yeah,
have like you don't make like if you're don't have an assistant or like the
you're doing
team or
it
the
bare bones.
resources, like if you need like lighting or studio or like if it's some sort of concept thing, you need money sometimes to pull those things off. So like when you're like really bare bones in it, like it's tough to pull that off because sometimes now you're like the photographer and you're like lighting, like you're doing all of these extra steps, and all of a sudden it's harder than if you just had like a team of five that like, okay, he's on that, she's on this, I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Yes, I just want to say it really fast. I saw a comment from Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and they said this is about me. We still love the photos you did for us in 2010, and that's real, Florida, and photographed them. And that's so long ago now, though.
11
Sorry,
years
I just
ago.
saw it, and
Hell yeah.
I've never talked to them since. So thank you guys. I'm
That's
not
amazing.
trying
Yeah,
to.
see?
I'm not trying to sound conceited like we talked about earlier, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want to share that with my friend Rob.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
let's see if we get
one last thing. I don't know if we're wrapping up here, but
No, we'll do one more
I
question, but say what you're saying, and then I'll get it, and
well,
then we'll
so,
wrap up.
one thing that is important to me, and what I had commented on your original post was, we're talking about money and how much you get per show. And so, like when I started, and I'm going to be very transparent here, hopefully not too transparent, but when I started with the Killers, part of our negotiation was me retaining ownership of the photos.
Mm-hmm.
So where you get your weekly rate as a touring crew member, it varies pretty greatly depending on what you do and the band. I think we kind of were comfortable in a rate based on me being able to profit off these photos in the future. And to me, ownership of the photos is so important moving forward. Like, I know
it's like stocks.
It is. This is your retirement. Like, I will make money, from these photos or from other photos that I own forever. I mean, maybe not every month. I mean, I have 25,000 photos on Getty. There's probably 22,000 that have never even sold. But I still get a check every month, and it's not for a lot. But, you start compounding that.
Yeah, it's a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, it's like, I pay my cell phone bill each month with this. Oh, actually, I'm paying, all my bills with this. Oh, I'm paying my rent with it. So it just starts building. And I think owning your photos, if you're going to shoot for free, if you're going to shoot for a publication where you don't feel comfortable with the rate, that's
ask
sort
for
of
ownership.
Like the silver lining. If you then you can make money. Yeah,
that's a really good point. And that was I'm in the same boat as you. Everybody I've worked for that couldn't pay what I wanted, or even if they, it was never a rate we were comfortable at. I was like, just let me have ownership. And for them, it costs nothing for you to have ownership. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was the same thing as like when I was working with people and they couldn't pay me enough. I was like, just make a social post for me. Help me sell some prints. Mm-hmm. And it's cost you nothing, but it has value. Mm-hmm. And it allows you to, it's mutually beneficial, and we're not taking away from your merch. We're not taking away from your image. We're not, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I think finding those avenues I really agree with you there, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
But all right, I think that let's get somebody else. Rob, thank you. This is awesome.
Man. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we gotta just keep finding ways to do stuff like this. But I want to get somebody else on here, which means you have to leave, which sucks. But I hope that's fair. Everybody say thank you, Rob.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I wasn't reading any comments because it just throws me off so much.
Oh no, it's all good, man. Everybody said you're really cool. That's what they said.
Cool.
But
I get fired up. My New York comes out of me.
Let me my people. When you're on tour, I will come to a show and we'll hang out. Or if I'm on tour, hopefully you can come to a show and you're not on a 9-month run.
Yeah, man. Where are you right now? Are you in San Diego?
I'm in San Diego. I dodged out of LA briefly due to the COVID, but I will be back up there as soon as it's a little less rambunctious. Okay. I guess you'd say.
All right,
peace. Thank you so much, man.
Take care.
Likewise. Have a good one. Stay in touch. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. How does it work? Are you out? He's out. No, he's here. Side cancel you? Remove Rob Loud. All right. Bear with me because this is my first time doing this, but let's see who we have here. Ryan Dunn. I got to get Beth. Send me a request, my friend. Let's get a lady on here to keep it, got to get representation. Beth, where'd you go? Or Michelle, I guess, if Beth's gone. Beth. Paging. There she is. Oh, I think I can request you. Oh, I got you. Is it actually true? Oh, what? Are you at work?
No, I'm about to order a smoothie. Can you wait 1 second?
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'm
wait a
so
second.
sorry.
Order is. I don't care. Hey, you're doing stuff.
Can I
Respect on
get
the
a
mask.
small golden spice?
You want me to call you
I
back?
literally was walking and I just got here. And can I do that with pea protein and daily vitamin?
All right, guys.
It's
These
not,
are some level ups for the day. This is what Beth orders at. Where are you at?
I'm at Jamba Juice.
At Jamba Juice. My favorite
Come
airport
again?
stop.
Oh yeah.
Favorite airport
Yeah.
hangout.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Hey, I'm really busy. Can I call you? What's up, Joe? Aren't you?
What's up, Larkin? My dude?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm on Instagram Live. This is the most LA thing in the world. I'm so sorry.
What up, Nezrin? Do these things
what was that?
save?
Can I get on the Instagram live?
Do Instagram? Hey, what up? Hey, how's you guys still have those steel cut oats?
He asked if you still have steel cut oats.
What?
Do you still have steel cut oats?
We actually do.
They do.
All right.
Do you want some?
No, no. I mean, I wish, but
No,
yeah,
okay.
I got oats in the mason jar.
So you want the daily vitamins and zinc?
Yeah.
And then pea protein?
And pea protein, yeah. Pea protein, guys.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm almost done. I'm
What's
so
up, Joe?
sorry. Okay,
No,
I
it's
can
fine.
talk though. I'm mentally here.
Yo, keep that credit card off the visuals.
It's got a wolf on it.
All right. There we go.
You want steel cut oats?
I'm just
No,
gonna
no.
look
No. Thank you.
at-
That's
It's like
it.
asking you if you want steel cut oats. Michelle, what time
Beth.
is it for you? Dude,
Yeah.
Beth. What
Oh,
time?
dude, my fucking homies are here.
7:28.
Yeah,
Thank you
it
so
puts
much.
an alert. I'm pretty sure it
This
puts an
is
alert on
fire.
your stream when you come on. You know
What's
what I
up,
mean?
Sammy? Scene points? It's been a minute. Did that work, or should I use my credit card? Did that work?
Yeah, you gotta put
Dub,
the
what's
Oh,
up?
okay.
What's up, Mr. Planet?
Tom Palant. Let's go.
No, Planet. It's the Planet, right?
Oh, my bad. Thank you
Yeah,
so
Michelle. I
much.
was gonna say it's early
Say
for you.
bye. Bye.
Later, bro.
Okay, I'm
Damn,
gonna wait
all
outside
green.
and talk.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm an asshole.
Did you catch most of the Rob talk?
Oh, I was here the whole time.
Okay. I was like kind of is there anything like maybe a good place to start it would be well first hello. How's
Hello.
it going? Are you in LA?
I am.
Yeah. I couldn't tell, but it was sunny, so I can kind of tell. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing photographers here because welcome to the music industry. We got good people hanging out.
No, we do. We're killing it.
Okay, well, maybe a good way to start would be, is there anything that Rob and I talked about that maybe you left a comment or when it was said, like you're like, oh, I want to say what I have to say about this. Do you like maybe we can reiterate what it was and then we can go into what you want to say.
I think the main thing there is just like an example where I even asked you to shoot for free once for that festival. And like,
Yes.
so that
Don't put me on blast here.
I won't. So here's the thing. I help run a media team for a festival, and you have such a specific look. And there was no budget left, and I was like, dude, if he's in LA, maybe he'll come out and he'll do it. And I just tried to like phrase it as like an opportunity because I knew that once they would see your photos, they would want to hire you in the future. And I feel like that doesn't stop at like whatever level you're at. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what I don't know what we can parallel that to. Okay, I know what we can parallel it to. Well, this is partly I think it's called the endowment effect. Basically, if you've ever gone to a furniture store, they're like, hey, you can take this home and you can use it for 30 days and you can return it if you don't like it. It's kind of
Okay.
like, oh, now that we've tried it out and we've seen that we've liked it, we want to use it more. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's like, oh, I know how,
Yeah.
this is great.
And that's all I needed to do was kind of prove like, hey, like he's doing us a solid. He's going to come for free. He's going to
Yeah.
not have any assignments, do his thing. And like next time around, it's like, oh, fuck, we need him. What's his rate? And I feel like that's the type of thing that doesn't really end no matter how big or small you are. But at the same time, to be a hypocrite, like setting your price and not being the free guy or the $50 guy is really big too. Because you guys were talking about that. And like,
Yeah, it's like,
if
what's the
saying no
balance?
is almost more powerful because if they know how much you cost and they know that you're working, then hopefully they can save up for that. But also, are you missing out on the gig?
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's hard. And that's why kind of when I was talking about, I'd almost rather do stuff for free than for an amount that I don't want to be paid is because you don't want to get like, I don't know. It's weird because I don't know why music photography is so different. But when I hire somebody for like graphic design and they're like, hey, I can do it for this much. I'm like, oh, they're just too good for me, and I just can't do it. But with music photography, I feel like the numbers just swap. They change so much. I guess I don't know. It's maybe it's just the music industry.
Yeah.
Um,
And I also really resonated with what you guys were saying about how it's really hard to make a full ass living.
yes, a full ass living.
Yeah. Because you can, but it's more than just tour. It's press photos, it's on set for music videos, it's daily stuff, it's their live streams, it's every single part of their life. It's almost like being like a personal photographer, not a tour photographer, right?
Oh, like if you're out with somebody on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your whole life. You don't really have
Yeah.
time to do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I think there's like, when I originally posted that question, it was hard because when you say live music photography or anything, there's so many different, like we talked about, there's some people who are like, hey, I just want to photograph concerts for a living in my, in St. Louis. I just want to go to the venue every night and take photos, and that's fine. But there's also people who are like, hey, I want a tour. Hey, radio station. Hey, I want to, there's, can you still hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Wait, 1 second. Talk. Yeah. Okay, I upped my phone in because I was wearing headphones and I didn't need to. 1 sec. Are we good? 1 second.
Chris Block said something good. He said, if you need experience, go free to get it. If already suited, wouldn't set a precedent of free shoots, in my opinion. For sure.
What's up, Blocked?
What's up, Blocked?
Oh.
What's up, Saxel?
Bryn Osborne, what up? Yeah, there's a lot of cool people in here. Get your drink. Tier. Okay.
I should get my drink. Yeah, let me get my drink.
Oh, it's still in there.
Oh, I didn't get it yet. I was waiting for it to be done.
Like some lady, she's gone. She just left.
She just left. I was just like, my brain couldn't process it all.
Beth Medina's here.
What's up? Oh my gosh, everyone's here. This is great.
Hey Beth, it's Medina. Ian, what up? Oh, Australia's waking up. Ian's an Australian.
What up, Kadeem and Danielle?
Yeah, what up, Danielle?
Michelle's here.
Hey,
the drink
have you
isn't done
done
yet.
streams like this before?
Does
it save them?
I do them kind of
Armin actually might know.
randomly.
Armin, do these save?
I like to just go live randomly and talk.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I was asking Armin if they like save and you can like download them after or something. Because I know he did.
Oh, they do save to your story and you can screen record.
I'm just like screen recording for like 4 hours.
Yeah. I really enjoyed you and Rob talking though. There was a lot of truth in that when I was listening.
Dude, Rob is like, he's got a lot of knowledge.
I know.
It's like,
he's great.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, so what do you think for when you started out and like I don't know 100% your path, but I know you toured with some artists and you shot some live stuff. Like, how important to you was it to do stuff for free? Do you think that your career would be where it's at if, like, I don't know, did you do stuff for free when you're starting out?
Yeah. My first year was probably free.
Yeah.
But I was also a student. I was in college and I had a lot of other stuff going on. So it was just it was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Concerts.
But also at that point, like Chris was saying, I was building something. I wasn't at the point where I even felt comfortable to charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us never feel comfortable to charge. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it goes on. That's a hard one. I know a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
So wait, then so then do you think that your career would have gotten to where it is if you didn't do that? Or do you think that it was like endlessly beneficial and necessary? Or I don't know if you want to talk towards that, maybe for other people who are trying to decide what to do.
It's definitely, I mean, the conversation's so difficult right now just because of COVID.
Yeah, we can just, that's like a whole, like, we can just like, everything's different COVID. I think we can all agree.
I know. So it's hard to give advice to anyone starting or wanting to pursue or follow, because I have friends who are even the most talented people in the room and they're having a hard time right now. So it's really unfortunate. It's tough. But as far as,
I was just saying, what about when stuff returns? Maybe like when it's like, let's just assume the world's kind of normal.
I mean, also like you were saying too, there's also a million people who would do it for free. So is setting the price going to be something that's going to lose you the job? I would never want to have a negative mentality like that, but I also think it's worth it to just have open business conversations with artists and with managers and with labels and just know if there's money there. Because a lot of the gigs.
Sorry, go.
What do you say?
I was gonna say having open business conversations with artists is hard.
Managers
yes, a little bit easier. Artists is hard.
But at the same time, like I feel like most of the people that I work with, I understand where they are in their career and the cash flow. Mm-hmm. And I'm like confident enough for it to be something we can talk about, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, if it's not the first day on tour, it's not something you want to say to someone you don't know. But
hey, what's up? Pay me more. Whoa.
And it's just like there's a lot going into it. Like you're paying for me to like eat, and it's outside of the weeks that we're touring, and also paying for my time that I'm not in LA and the stuff I could be doing here. There's a lot.
LA's expensive.
And I think if you're starting from the jump, just having conversations about money is good. It shows that you're taking your business seriously, and it shows that, you know what I mean, that it's just necessary.
Yeah, as hard as it can be, or uncomfortable, or like.
Dude, my drink is not done yet. I'm sorry. And it is uncomfortable, but it just takes practice. Like, so many of my friends will hop on calls and we'll talk about contracts and we'll talk about money, and just even being able to reach out to someone to know if something feels normal or is normal, then that helps a lot too. Yeah,
no, that's a good point. I definitely reach out to my peer group or people who are more experienced than me and say, you know, how do you handle this situation? What's it been like? Maybe for like, you know, I can think of like when I had license images, I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like 100%. I didn't learn how to do that. I got to hit somebody up and, you know, understand. And there's only so much a Google search can do for some things because, you know, it's so situational.
Yep.
Thanks for all the good points in chat. We appreciate, you know, the participation. I see you badasses in there. If you guys do have a question,
hit up the question.
They're in this thing, so make sure. I'll try to get new questions for Beth and I. But you can ask them. Oh my God, there's so many. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say,
yes, Hodge.
I don't know. It's such like, photography for me is something that I love so much. So I'm happy if I'm just doing it. So like if I'm having a really busy week and then there's a free show on a Wednesday and it's an artist I want to work with, I'm like, hey, I've got paid all week for other stuff. I'm going to go shoot this just because it's what I love. So there's also a little bit of that too. It
kind of reminds me like in other careers, they have like expos. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like if you're a doctor or something and you go to these expos and you learn about all this gear and you meet all these people, it's almost like you have this in photography. You have other events that can do that kind of stuff, but sometimes you just go shoot something for free just to be there and experience it and get your Jamba Juice.
Beth, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I know. I slid in a Jamba Juice shout out. No, but you know, it is. There's so much. I think that especially when you're starting out and maybe you're not very far in the music industry, that it's hard to really fully understand the value there is in knowing people.
Oh my gosh.
Explaining to somebody, they're like, hey, I understand you don't want to do this for free. I understand $100 sounds great, or $200, a couple $100 for the night. But sometimes the experience in meeting these people could lead to career changing things, not just not just short term.
Dude, there's so many examples of that. I have a friend who used to manage or tour manage Parachute, and now he's with someone really big. And so it's
no
just
offense,
like
Parachute. She is love.
But like it's just stuff like that. You never know where everyone around you is gonna go. That's including the people in the pit. Like the guy next to you could someday, like you're saying, be Rihanna's photographer, and you guys having good blood is gonna help out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good blood. I like that saying. No, that makes sense.
I mean, because any job that I'm going to refer someone to, I kind of have to know their personality and know that they can, you know what I mean, be a good representation of myself.
Yeah. No, I buy it.
So, it just...
Wait, can you say that one more time? You said, wait, what'd you say?
I was saying that anyone that I'm going to refer to a job, I have to make sure they're like a good representation of myself.
Yeah, and that is a really good point, because it goes back to saying, you know, maybe for people who aren't as experienced as you, they don't understand, like, that is networking. So basically what she's saying is, you know, if she's going to say, like, okay, Beth has 5 shoots this week, Thursday she can't do the shoot she got asked to do, she's going to recommend somebody she knows to fill her shoes. That person is a direct reflection on Beth. If that person goes there and does something wrong, it's a big deal, because
Oh, yeah.
it's all about who you know, and she understands that. So that's kind of what she's saying. What's up, Jack? Yo, I went to middle school with Jack Gallagher. He's the musician now.
Dude, all the
Jack.
comments stopped. Like, I can't see any of them anymore.
I'll siphon stuff through to you, especially if it applies to you. It's mostly people just like kind of cheering you on. Armin, I see you on Clubhouse. It's mostly people like agreeing with you. You guys, if you have questions, I know it's tempting to put it in chat, but put it in the question option, because then they stay forever and they don't scroll away. So if you have something you want to say or react to, say it in chat. Otherwise, put it in
like
the
a tattoo, guys. Put a tattoo on the chat.
It's
forever.
It's forever. It's like henna. It lasts almost a long time. Let me see. Can I pull a question up here, Beth?
I would love that.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm sorry I'm not as polished as Rob. He was incredible to listen to, and I'm just flailing.
Yo, whatever you're feeling that made you say that, I promise you that's not how it comes across, so don't worry. The way you saw Rob is how other people see you.
Oh my. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
so don't worry about it. Yeah. All right, I know you're going to have a good answer for this one. This is a little bit different, but the question is, how are you as a creator been making money during this pandemic? And maybe you want to talk about that, or how it's been.
Ooh, we love this. So, little old me during the pandemic decided to do something called pivoting. Also kind of like flailing.
It's borrowed from basketball.
Yes. It's like when you put one foot on the ground and you pivot. But the other foot's still on the ground, and my root is obviously in. You couldn't see it? I'm sorry.
No, we can't. It's all camouflage.
Oh, okay.
You're
funny.
Joking. Sorry. Yeah.
So,
sorry.
Much like you, I have an extreme love for just music, the industry, the people, going to shows, shooting shows. But at the same time, I love photography so much that I needed to just keep working in any type of way. So I pivoted pretty heavily to an industry that is doing really well during COVID, which is fashion. So I've been shooting a lot of fashion stuff.
Hell yeah. Good job pivoting.
It's great. But the thing is, if someone's going to ask how, it goes back to just those relationships. Oh my God! Dude, it's Jordan! Yo, what up? It's Jordan on the street!
Hi, Jordan. Jordan,
this is crazy. I'm on live without him. I love you so much. Hi, everyone. Hi!
Is this just a random meetup?
I love you. I literally love you. I live right there, dude. Over there. I love you. This is so fucking crazy. This live stream's taking a turn.
She saw the live stream and she's like, I want to be on it. And then
I need to go to Jamba Juice and I need to track her down.
That's Jordan Kelsey Knight, if anybody wants to find her on Instagram. She's a very talented photographer herself.
But yeah, as far as how I was able to pivot,
LA.
I know.
You've had the most LA stream ever. Right after this, what's another? Right after this, your car is going to get towed.
No, my car is getting washed right now, which is also very
That's
LA.
also LA. Let's go.
But the reason I was even able to pivot was just through relationships. Like, one of the brands I work with, I had met him in college and he was working at a sneaker shop, and now he's the creative director for a brand.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I would love to do something with you guys, and it turned into a pretty steady gig.
Yeah, and I think the key here is for people who maybe don't have as much experience with networking, but if you're always like, well, how do people become friends with all these people, is you need to form these relationships through almost like non-business routes. So you're not meeting up with these people and being friends with them so that you can work with them. You're meeting up and being friends with them so you
100%.
can see how you can help them. And then when you need help or you need to ask, like, I'm sure it took you years to ask for that favor, and you're like, wow, I need this help. And, you reach out to your community, and that's what that's for.
I also have like a genuine love for people.
up?
Like
What
for
up,
him,
Dusty?
I would love him no matter what job he had, and I make
Yes.
sure I know that.
Hey man, you're
And
working for a shirt company now, not not a shoe company, and we can't be.
someone said I'm working for a shirt company.
No. I was
No, I'm
kidding. I
working.
was
I'm
saying like
working. Oh, okay.
his company changed, so you can no longer be friends with him. I was
Oh yeah,
making a
right.
joke. Yeah. Let me see
But
if I can find
a lot
another.
of
Sorry, keep going. My
I was
bad.
gonna say a lot of my networking is like so organic. Like I
Yeah.
love people and I love creative people, and I just keep them in and around my circle because they make me work harder. You know what I mean?
All right, I got a question based off that for people that they can use. Can you see that question? You want me to read it to you? I'm gonna read it anyway.
Yeah, if you could read it, thank you.
How do you recommend networking during COVID? It's not really an option to network in person, so how can someone who is very personable make an impression digitally?
Okay, so
Thank you, Emily.
my
for the
very
question.
honest advice there would be make a LinkedIn or update your LinkedIn and start researching the brands or bands that you love, even the labels that you love, and start adding people on LinkedIn that are either in the position you want or like parallel and adjacent to the positions you want.
Beth,
Can you hear me?
that's great advice. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
I started using my LinkedIn again a week ago after 10 years. Can you give me a walkthrough on how to use it?
Yes.
All
It's
right,
adult
thank you.
Facebook, but it's
I
also
understand it,
Flexbook
but
too. You
the
can flex on
navigation
there.
is new to me, you know?
Okay. So you have your profile. You're going to want to update
Oh, you don't
your
have to do it
job.
now. No, not now, not
Oh,
now.
okay.
Your time is more valuable than teaching me LinkedIn on stream.
Dude, LinkedIn is
At a
so
later date.
fucking sick.
What'd you say?
I said LinkedIn is so fucking sick.
People still use LinkedIn. Yeah, so the thing about LinkedIn is it's the business, it's just people who are networking for business intentions, and there's no way to misinterpret that. So in the real world, sometimes you can meet somebody and you can't tell, hey, are they trying to be my friend? Are they trying to do business with me? LinkedIn is just like, hey, we're here to do this. And Beth, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you
Yeah.
do make friends on there also.
I do a lot for like inspiration. Like,
Okay.
let's say there's the director of artist relations or something. I want to see how they got to that position, so I'll look on LinkedIn and figure out their path.
Yeah.
Or if there's
Their
a really
journey,
big, yeah,
what they've done with their career. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great.
I'm just a nerd for that kind of job stuff. I love like the intricacies of literally the inside of how things work.
Yeah, no, it's cool. There's a whole
But
TV show on that because it's so fun.
I would say LinkedIn would be a good start for that. Also, sliding into DMs. Like if there's an artist who's maybe reachable on Instagram, throw them a DM and see if you guys want to shoot. Obviously safely, of course.
Yeah, and then if you're going to start doing that, just to piggyback off Beth, make sure that you have a professional appearing profile. Make sure that you're presenting yourself in a way where somebody would want to respond to you. Your profile picture is, appropriate, and that you're messaging them in a way like, look, like Emily said, you can't meet up in real life. You can't have that face-to-face contact. So what they're going to judge you on is what you say and how you appear, and that's just the reality of it. So make sure the words you say, the things you tell them, or everything is intentional, straight to the point. And DMs do work sometimes. I'm sure Beth has a million stories about that. I have a few myself, and it's viable. Just know it's viable. Yeah.
I would say that would be it. I've also I've emailed with some people who have emailed me and had questions, and like if you have a music photographer or even any sort of someone that you really look up to, see if you can email them and just, you know what I mean, either Zoom or email a few questions and do the same thing where you're able to openly ask and feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. And maybe you just need to, I don't know, maybe you're just like Beth is doing, maybe you're just connecting with them, and then in the future
it'll turn into something. Yeah,
it'll turn into something else, or maybe they need a photographer for something and you can help them. Like, I think the best way to I don't know, network is just find ways you can help other people, like Beth was doing with her friend's company, and then they help they helped you back.
My car
Was
is
you getting
done.
honked at?
That's my car. They finished cleaning it.
Your car speaks to you. Beth, I think if you're cool with it, I'm gonna tag somebody else in
Yeah,
here.
that's great. And I can
Um,
drive home. Hi, thank you
um,
so much.
let's tag Armin in if that's cool. You know Armin, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah, and I'll stay on and listen. It was great to talk to all you guys.
Hey,
Thank you,
I'm
Adam. I
serious. I'm gonna
appreciate
hit
it.
you up. I'm gonna hit you up for LinkedIn help and
Yes.
Jamba Juice order advice.
Okay.
All
I
right. Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much, Beth. Everybody hit
Have a
her up
good
on
one.
Instagram, and I will talk to you later. Peace.
Bye, dude.
Bye. Whew. Okay. Armin, you want to hop on here by chance, my guy? I know you have a lot to say, and I love hearing what you have to say. If you don't, I'm trying to cycle back and forth, guy, girl, guy, girl. If you don't, Michelle can hit you. Let's see. Armin. I'm sending you a request. Oh, or I'm not. Or I'm spelling your name wrong. My bad. There he is. I don't know if you're let's go. All right, sick. Dude, this is like hanging out with people. It's like hanging out with friends. All right, Michelle, you down after Armin? Armin, I sent you a request. Let me know if it comes up. Thank you guys so much for hanging. Yes, Connor, you can admin this. Power Hour, yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging. I hope that some of this is helping. I'm learning a lot just talking to people. And yeah. Armin, did you get my request? Shoot me a text if you need help. Then Juan. Yes.
Yo,
What's up,
Adam,
man?
dude, how's it going, man?
Good. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to be here. Damn, Rob and then Beth, and now I got to follow up with that. That's a little bit difficult right there. You put me in a difficult position.
Hey, man. I think that we think of you right up there, wherever they're at, with them. So I wouldn't be so hard on yourself.
Dude, I love it. Well, first of all, thank you for hosting this random like
I
Instagram
know,
live
right?
that turned into like the entire photo community coming together. I love it.
Dude,
Um,
I know you said a little bit about like you're gonna have to teach me about Clubhouse because I'm generally apprehensive on new networks that don't travel outside their network. So you're gonna have to teach me how I should use it, and I'll trust your judgment. I don't know. We don't have to do it now, but I'm just saying I want to learn.
honestly,
We could do it now. If you
right, right,
want.
right. I like Clubhouse personally a lot.
Okay.
The reason why is it kind of cuts through the bullshit. You go straight to the point, talk straight to the people that are like, making decisions or, helping you connect. Or I've just been going
Mm-hmm.
in these rooms where they're like, for example, like influencer marketing brands. And I go in, I'm not an influencer. I don't have like any brands that represent me. But I go in and offer photography services. I'm like, look, hey, I'm kind of shifting from music to brands right now just because of COVID and everything, right? I'm trying to diversify my portfolio. So
Yeah.
that helps a lot. I mean, a lot of people have been reaching out. A lot of people have been talking about, getting on Clubhouse if it's difficult. I mean, I have about 5 invites. If anyone would like to join, please send me a
They're
DM.
only
I'm happy to.
$300 each, guys.
No,
So
no, I'm not charging for it, man.
music. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It is a great platform, though. It's been great for me personally. I've booked, dude, some publication company from Brazil that's basically like the billboard of Brazil reached out to me and said, yo, we'd like to buy some photos from you, like out of nowhere because they heard a conversation on Clubhouse. So,
That's great.
it's been helping, to be honest with you. But it is still in early stages. It's not still public. Not everyone has access to it. So it is going to take some time. But yeah, man, if anyone would like to, please send me a DM. I got 5 invites. I will go to the top 5 people that show up.
First 5 people that say something nice to him will get a, just
It
be
is
kind.
it is iOS only, by the way. You have to have an iPhone. At the
Good. We'll
moment,
see
it is
through the
iOS.
bullshit. I don't
That's what
want
I'm
to connect with
saying.
you
No
and
green text.
iMessage you and FaceTime you. You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying, bro. Yo,
I'm
but
just kidding. I'm not gatekeeping on that. I'm just kidding, but it is funny to joke about.
Adam,
Well,
I
dude,
want to add something to the conversation that was going on earlier with what
dude,
Rob said and then
please do.
Beth.
Let's do it.
Um,
Recap it for us first, if that makes sense. Maybe some people weren't here.
right. So I want to talk about like, music photography. How do I get started in music photography? How do I make money? I've been doing music photography for 15 years. I still can't make a living. I still have a side hustle. Um, I'll say this, I'll be the first to say I don't do photography full time. I work in IT. Thankfully, computers and the knowledge of computers and being certified and all these things helped me get through the pandemic a lot because of all the, music events
Respect, dude.
stopping
I
and all
respect
that.
that a lot.
There's no other way, man. I worked for Apple for a while. I got all my knowledge there and I've just been jumping around different companies doing it. Um, but there's always got to be, you have to have some sort of safety net. Like you can't just always rely on one thing. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. I think that's really important. That's where the diversification of portfolio comes in as well. So that's kind of also really, um, I guess that's the point I'm trying to drive home. The other part that I'll say is starting in music is hit your local publication up once things open up and tell them that you want to shoot for them. No one is going to turn down a free, gig or someone that's willing to do something for free. And you do have to pay your dues early on to be able to get your foot in the door, to put yourself in situations to network with the band and be able to say, I want to hop on the bus for 2 weeks, or, connecting with people, um, from the label on the band side and management side. So there's a lot of like little pieces of the puzzle that you got to kind of put together, and you literally have to hold it together so it doesn't fall apart. But it's not as easy as it seems. You could be the best photographer out there. You can have amazing images and not get the recognition you deserve, or you might be someone that's not, really good at shooting, but you're really good at networking and connecting with people. So I think that's another way to get your foot in the door. Um, Always remaining humble. I think we discussed this on your Twitch stream last time. It's like,
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
dude, being humble, humility goes a long way. I don't care, how big you are, who you've worked with. Just, you know, being a dick is not going to get you anywhere. They say like last guys finish, I mean, good guys finish last or whatever, but I don't think that's true in this business specifically. You just kind of have to find the balance of being.
Hey, they still finish.
They do. That this is important. Yes, they absolutely do. It just comes down to, I guess, being yourself, being genuine. Why do you want to shoot music? Do you want to shoot music because you want to end up taking a picture with Drake, or do you want to shoot music because you want to be known as somebody that documented history and the shift in music and, the importance of
Yeah,
music in everyone's life? So
you got to figure out like I think we can both agree within the music photography umbrella, there's a lot of subcategories that would change your path and your values and what's important to you and when to do what for free and when to charge. And that's the hard part, especially when you're just starting. We talked about you don't really know all those things, and that's okay. It just
absolutely.
just understand that Armin might choose something for free because that's where he's at in his career and you can't afford to, and that's where your career, and it doesn't make the other one wrong or the other one right. They're just you're different, doing different things, different
I
parts
guess
of your path.
I guess there is no way for you to be able to like follow a formula and get to where you're trying to go or whatever the top
Fun
is for
industry.
you, right? Yeah. You got to work your way up. I mean, there's no really other way. I mean, I'll be the first to share this. A few years back, I think like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, I really wanted to shoot the Rolling Loud Festival because it was like the biggest hip hop thing, and I was like, that's when like I was driving my all my force towards shooting hip hop and all that, and I was like, I really want to shoot Rolling Loud. Dude, I hit up all my friends that are photographers. I emailed the media team. I hit up DM the account, like everything. I didn't hear anything back. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to get into this. I had a friend that used to work at a PR agency that was working for Beats by Dre. I emailed him and I was like, yo, can Beats by Dre get me in? Because I know they're sponsoring an active like a thing in there. Like
Hell
they have
yeah,
a
they can.
activation. Dude, they got me to pass. I shot for them. They paid me. I got the photos I wanted. I obviously retained ownership of the concert shots. All they wanted were the shots of the the booth or whatever they had, and
Yeah, you
that
had to
kind
do
of
like
got
the kind of like boring stuff for it. Like,
yeah,
it's not as fun as shooting a
right,
concert, but you gotta get
right,
to do.
right, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I learned to do that because at a previous gig, someone had hired me to shoot a show, and then they came to me asking for brand activations, and I was like, this was never part of the shot list. Like I never had, this wasn't given to
I
me.
didn't know I was supposed to do that, sir.
But I still shot it. I still had it. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
had some stuff to give them. So I guess like once you're given the opportunity, I'll tell you this, like once you have the photo pit wristband, we're not talking about all access artists hanging out with people. Once you have the photo pit
First three.
wristband, first 3 songs, obviously take advantage of it, but also be smart. Try to hustle your way to get more out of it. See if you can get somewhere. Maybe security is not doing the best. Like try to create an opportunity for yourself to put yourself in a position to win. You know, no one's going to give you that golden opportunity to say, okay, go on tour with so and so. And, you know, DM obviously is a very powerful tool as well. If you want to DM the artist, the manager, the people that are around them, by building a genuine portfolio, or try to build a
What up,
direct
Josh?
relationship. Yeah, and try to build a direct relationship with them. I think that's the best way to do it. But you will shoot for free. I mean,
Yeah,
I shot.
Go.
Sorry, I'll share this one little story. I
No,
shot a
dude, you're good.
concert.
You're good. I'm remembering it.
It's all good. I shot a concert for Power 106. They reached out to me last minute and they're like, look, we hired all of our photographers already. We're out of budget, kind of like the situation that Beth was talking about. And we would love to have you because your work, you know, stands out, and our media team brought it to our attention. And I said, yes. I shot that concert. I got a photo of Tyga on stage. Like, you know, I was just like shooting. Next thing I know, Tyga DM'd me. I went on tour with him. So you really don't know what that opportunity, like what, you know, what opportunity is going to come
Yeah.
your way from
I love
that
those
one time.
stories.
It happens. It really happens in real life. It's not one of those things where you just hear people talking about it. Like, it genuinely happens. And
But
I
like
feel
you're
like,
saying, you have to put yourself in that position.
absolutely.
And those positions aren't always paid. And I think there is something to be said for, you know, kind of paying your dues. Trust me, trust Armin. You want to put your dues in, because when you get the point where you're touring with the Killers or Tyga, you want to have learned all those things you need to learn, that you don't want to embarrass yourself in the people that, you know, you really want that job. You want, you know, you don't want to be the guy who's like, yo, I love the Killers. What's up, man? Like, yo, what's your favorite song off the last record? And they're like, your photos are great, but we cannot hang out with you.
Right.
Because you're not reading the room. You're not speaking the same talk as us. And you have to put that time in somewhere. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what you're saying, right? You got to
It's 100% what it is. You also got to be up to date with like who's cool with who has beef with who's dated in the past. Like, you got to know
Oh,
all
wow. I'm
these.
hitting you up if I need help on that. I don't know.
You got to be on. Well, you have to know to a certain extent, specifically in the music business, because stuff revolves. I mean, I guess maybe in hip hop, but like, there's so much that happens. Is like, you know, maybe two artists have a beef, and you don't want to like say, oh, did you hear this person's new record in a studio session one day? You know,
Yeah.
I guess the piece of advice I'll share on that is, don't overshare. Do your job if you're given the opportunity, and when asked, like, yeah, just be yourself, man. If someone asks you, like, I've been in a studio session before where like the producer will play a beat, and I'll just be in the corner, like, you know, like feeling it, and I'll be like,
You're
you
not
think
like
this is
this,
fire?
like-
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, they're like, you don't think this is fire? And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have an ear for music. So if I were to
Yeah.
tell you this is fire, maybe I would be
take
lying
pictures.
to you. People love that. Even though I am a musician, I clearly have a fucking guitar hanging there. I play music. I have an opinion, but I don't want to
We all
share
know
it.
guitar on your wall does not mean you're a musician. All right.
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
don't put me on the spot right now. But no. But what I'm trying to get at is the point is like, do your job, do it well. Do it well enough that will keep you in that situation. And by being in that room, in that situation, try to elevate yourself on the next opportunity by building genuine, lasting relationships, not just saying, I want to go talk to Nima from Empire. Shout out Nima. And I'll talk to Nima from Empire because I know that he can get me into Rolling Loud that's coming up in 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that fake stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
want to go talk to Nima from Empire because you want to know how you can help him.
absolutely.
You want to figure out how you can help everybody else. And it, like, in my opinion, like, that's the easiest way to phrase it for somebody who doesn't really understand how to, you know what I mean? It's like, figure out how you can help all these people. What can you do in their journey? And then there's not a better feeling. I know you know this feeling than when hitting up somebody who, like, you believe in and, like, being like, yo, Armin, I got this Rolling Loud pass for you, all access. And you'll be like, fuck yeah, El Machias. And it'll be like, I'll feel good, you'll feel good, you'll do your thing, I'll be stoked. You know, it's like, I don't know. That's just, I feel
Dude,
like it's a fun thing.
it's a good gut wrenching moment. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wow, I was not expecting that. Like, a lot of the opportunities come that way, by the way. Like, you put out good work and it might be silent for like 6 months. Now it's been a year that my phone hasn't rang for like something big. And a couple of days ago, I got an email. I was like, I can't believe this landed in my inbox. So it's a long-term investment. I think Rob was saying that earlier. This is your retirement, dude. This is a long-term investment. You got to look at it in a way that you are documenting history now that's going to be more valuable 15, 20, 30 years from now. It's not just, you know, your photos that are cool for Instagram. And I was guilty of that. I was shooting for Instagram for the longest time because, you know, a lot of the publications that buy my photos, like people like Complex, like that's where they're going to post it. So I wanted to give them the look and the feel they
That's your
wanted. But
client.
right. But then you also have to satisfy your need and hunger for shooting. Otherwise, you're just shooting like mechanically. You're not, you know, you're just like, all right, cool. I can expose the camera. I can take the photos and I'm done.
Yeah, you're just it's transactional. You're like, all right,
Right,
I
right,
here's
right.
your photo. I go home. I forget about everything. I'm not attached to this image whatsoever.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
Let's get some questions, dude. I'm enjoying this. Thank you for having
All
me.
right.
Thank you for giving me
Yes, of
some
course.
time. Thank you for having me on, dude. This is great.
Hey, man, I love how much I feel like during Corona, everybody wants to be as social online as I want to be all the time online, so I don't feel so
Right.
alone. I'm like, finally, I don't have to harass people. They're just fucking down.
You can call me whenever, dude. You got my number. Hit me up whenever you want.
All right, deal. Give me 1 second. I'm looking through them. There's a lot of questions and trying to find some of the more recent ones.
Right.
Let me see.
Dude, I love Beth is going off in the comments. I love her work. I love everything she does. I don't think we've ever
Hell
met
yeah.
in person, but I genuinely love your work. Like the diversification of your work, the billboards, and congratulations to Beth, by the way. She just got another billboard on Fairfax.
Congrats,
So yeah, let's just give her some love.
All right, here's a good one I think that you could probably answer.
Any tips for growing your portfolio as a beginner photographer?
Yes.
You know, whatever you're into, like let's say you want to shoot music, if that's what you're asking for specifically, try to shoot bands and jazz musicians and rappers and piano players and studio sessions. Diversify. And the reason why is you might want to get into music just to go to concerts and shoot and get that access, but you might fall in love with the world of jazz and shooting, you know, somebody playing the saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like find your niche and what it is that you love, because if you do it with passion and that is genuinely what you love, you will succeed in that lane. You will become the person amongst your group of friends that will be in that lane and doing what they love.
Damn, I want you on my shoulder. Like all the time.
Be in your ear.
I'm just like
talking
doing a push-up. You're like, you fucking got this, bro. You got this shit. And like, you're a good speaker.
Yeah, you want those biceps? Come on, drop 20 more. Let's go. No, but I mean, genuinely, it is what it is. I feel like I learned everything I'm sharing. I learned because I failed at doing so for the longest time. Just being completely honest, like it was like I was shooting for one specific thing. Is like I wanted to go to every concert possible, right? Like that was my goal. Then I was like, I want to shoot metal shows because I love these bands. Then I was like, wow, I'm getting into hip hop. I would love to shoot this
I
artist.
on the metal.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, dude, I just did some work for System of a Down. I'm really proud of because they're the reason I learned how to play guitar. That they're, you know, we have like this Armenian connection. They're an incredible band. So I was like, it was a full circle moment for me.
That's awesome. Well, it's like a legend. Yo, when I tour in like other countries, especially like Europe and stuff, the band I work with plays System of a Down during Changeover, Chop Suey, obviously, and there's not a bigger song that people go ham for.
Still slaps.
That's not on the stage. Everybody's singing it. People are moshing to it. It's crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, just a quick appreciation thing. I had to throw that in there. I'm just really proud of what I had done for them. I mean,
hell yeah.
They got my photo on Rolling Stone. That was the first time, you know, that happened to me. Like I had never been in Rolling Stone before. Like that was a full circle holy shit moment for me, you know. Like I always think of myself as like a dude with a camera. I don't really think of like, wow, you know, like I have photos published there. But people like you and friends around you will help, you know, kind of like see that, and they'll be like, dude, you've accomplished so much, you've done this, you've done that. And it's important to kind of take a step back sometimes and, you know, say, wow, I really did that. It's not arrogance, it's not
No, I agree.
It's not you being cocky, it's like really just appreciating your work.
Well, it's hard because like I'm reading a book right now, and one of the points talks about that, because I don't know about you, but I find myself in a position where you almost want to help keep your own ego down. Like you kind of keep yourself in check because you're like, oh, I've accomplished these things, but I don't want to like celebrate it too much because I don't want it to go to my head. So I almost like downplay it to like keep myself balanced. But then after a while, I was like, wow, like you're saying, you do have to kind of appreciate it without being like, hey, I'm cool now. You know, like you have to be like, all right, acknowledge, appreciate it, good job, but not let it affect your ego too much. And I don't know. I think that's where I developed those habits.
Dude,
of
I mean,
thinking,
look
it's
at
not a big
you.
deal.
You're
What?
probably look at you. You're probably one of the most successful music photographers that I personally know.
Thank you.
And you're one of the most accomplished, and I think we have to give you your flowers while you're here. You're alive with us, and tell you that you do incredible work. But you're the
Thanks, bro.
humblest dude. Look, man, like you have like this for me. Like when you had me on the stream, I told you I was like, I can't believe Adam reached out to me to be like that was a wow moment. So the fact that
Thanks,
you're doing
man.
it
I
again,
appreciate
that kind of yeah, dude, that speaks volumes to what we're talking about. We're practicing what we preach.
Yeah, dude, I vibe.
Dude, one more
All right.
question. I'm gonna let Michelle come in and then let her do her thing. I'm very excited to see what she's gonna say.
Okay, let me see. Yes. Plus, you know, she's probably on caffeine right now because it's morning. She's in
Yeah, right. She's
Australia.
having coffee.
Michelle, yeah, are you guys on lockdown still? What's up? How's it going down there?
I heard it's open now. I heard Sydney, like, you don't even need to wear a mask anymore. I might be wrong, but you know, Americans getting information from non-reliable sources is a thing we thrive in.
There's so many questions from like other people's things. I'm looking. All right, this one you might be able to answer. We can get into a little discussion off this.
If you do a photo shoot with a band that's paid for by the label, who owns the photos you've taken? That's a good question. I like that. I'll say this. If it's specifically the way I work is very business. Like I send a contract, 50% due at signing, 50% when I deliver the photos. But we all know that's not just a reality in every aspect of the music business.
Yeah.
But when given the opportunity, when you are signing a contract, because if it is an established band, they will definitely have one in place. In the contract, it mentions that if they want to use the photos for like publication and online, and they might want to use it for promotional use and own the copyright. Like I've actually gotten to work with bands where they want to own the copyright. At that point, you have to amp up your prices because that's where they're making the money. I mean, them owning the copyright is legit. Like it's like going to Jay-Z and saying, look, we own, 99 Problems. 100% of it, you're not going to make a single dollar off of it. We're going to pay you one time. How much do you think Jay-Z is going to charge them? Wow, look at this. Who's that? What's her name?
What's himself, so I just had to show you.
What's his name?
Mark. Legend.
Mark is
Anyway,
really. I
sorry,
see
not
that.
meaning to
No,
interrupt.
it's totally fine. I was like, that's awesome, dude. I was not expecting. I was like, wow. But what I was saying is like, if they're gonna own the actual copyright, then yes, that's the time where you want to charge them because you get to get paid for this one time. It might be on billboards, it might be their album cover, it might be the photo that sells of them forever. Like it might be the last photo of Tupac ever taken before he gets shot in the car. Like it might be an iconic image like that. You know what I'm saying? But it comes down to
Think
that.
of a more
It's
extreme
like,
example. You can't.
I cannot.
But so just to add on about contracts, that people who maybe are starting out or maybe are professional that don't know, a contract is an agreement that you can edit, you can modify. They're sending it to you to agree to the terms, and if you don't agree to them, you don't have to sign it. And you can say, I'll want to change this, this, and this. Like you're allowed to do that. That is normal practice. Yeah,
absolutely.
But you can make a lot of money off licensing. Agreed.
There's a lot. That's the thing is like I can't just answer with one answer because it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah, it's a discussion. You don't have to.
It is. No, I mean at the same time is like I'll be completely honest with you. Like I had a publication reach out to me recently. They want to license some photos and they said this is our budget. And I said, well, for that budget, I could license 3 photos if you guys are okay with it. And they're like, yeah, we were hoping for 6, but we'll settle for that. And we worked something out. And I gave them another photo. I said you can use this for socials. Like we worked something out. Like it worked out. But you just kind of have to feel the water, how well you know these people, But don't be scared to negotiate and ask for your price if you think you're dealing. Like if Travis Scott hits you up, don't be like, oh my God, it's Travis Scott. But at the same time, weigh and be like, it is Travis Scott, so maybe there's some wiggle room here. So it's like it's a one-off decision.
Where are you headed? What, like you said at the beginning, like it depends what path you're on. Like, hey, if you're quitting music photography tomorrow and you just want to make some money, and it doesn't matter that Travis Scott used your photo, then yeah, ask for a ton of money. But if Travis Scott using your photo is going to set you up for 10 other jobs that'll make you an exponential amount of money, then maybe it's something to consider.
Well,
but
are you getting tagged?
Value yourself. Yeah.
are you getting tagged? Are you getting the credit that you deserve? Or is it just going to be like, we're buying this photo, we're not, you know, there's so much to be discussed. Like nowadays with social media and everything, it's so much more difficult than what it used to be. So yeah,
It's more
there's
fun.
definitely, it is more fun. It definitely keeps you on your toes. And then
It's
net
more fun.
60 comes in and net 90 comes in and you don't get paid for 3 months. It's the best.
Yes, Michael, if you took the photo and nobody signed over the rights, you own it, unless you're doing what's called a work
Absolutely.
for hire. And if you're doing work for hire, that means you are there for them. You are their employee, and they usually own everything. So if you sign that contract, that's usually includes that as well. But I'm also not a lawyer, just to like remove me from any credibility. Whatever I have to say, don't say Adam said so.
I love it. Do you write your
Cool.
must tag me on other? I mean, it depends, bro. You have to discuss with the artist specifically.
Yeah.
It depends on the relationship. But I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, that's a good. Hey, Armin, thank you for coming and hanging, my guy.
Dude, thank you for having me. This was great. I really appreciate you doing this. Make sure to save this so at the end of the live you can actually save the video. I know you were asking
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Okay. Then I'll
Dude,
be
yeah,
good.
repost it. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a big file on your phone, but I would love to go back and
It's okay.
check this out again.
Can I brag about something?
Go ahead.
I didn't use my phone this is the first time I'm using my phone this year.
Wow.
I know.
That
I
is-
had it on, but I used iMessage on my computer, but I had
Yeah.
it on in my closet just so I could receive text messages for the past, like at first I just turned it off for 3 weeks and I was like, oh, I don't get text messages now. Turn it on, leave it in the closet. So I just don't use a phone anymore. Other than
Dude, that is
this.
amazing. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that.
You can.
No, it's too difficult for me. Personally, it's too difficult. I use my phone for everything. I do like streaming video games. I do so much with my phone. Like I can't
Oh,
just
fair
stop
enough.
using it. But
All right.
thanks again, Adam. I'm gonna leave you to it. I really appreciate you.
Later,
dude.
Armin.
Take
Appreciate
care.
you, man.
Peace.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Michelle, let's do this. And then Miranda, if you're still here, I know we talked earlier. Oh, if you are here, I see you. Miranda, let's get you on after Michelle. So what time is it? 4:42? We're going on 2 hours? Wow, this went fast. 1 second. Michelle. That was awesome. Thank you, Armin, if you're still here. Appreciate you, my guy. I hope that we can hang out sometime. Michelle, I'm sending you a request.
Hi.
Holy shit, that was fast.
I'm
All the
sorry,
way from
pop up.
Australia,
I was
faster
ready.
than
I'm ready.
anybody
Let's
here.
go.
What'd you say?
I said I was ready. Let's go.
Good morning.
Morning. How you going? It's
I'm
been
good.
so good to hear from everyone. I loved hearing from. Yeah, that was awesome. Just everybody
Dude.
that's spoken so far has been just so good.
Even in the chat.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Like, I've just
Yeah.
been like, oh, what's up, friend? Like, it's a good vibe.
Yeah. So many awesome people here. So,
Yo.
thanks, Beth. I actually just ran downstairs and was like, shit, I better put half a face on if I'm going to go on live because it was first thing in the morning. So I did do my makeup.
Mascara,
Yeah, eyeliner.
Wings.
Vibe.
wings, right? I'm just those are the two terms I know when it comes to makeup. That's all I got.
Yeah, just a little wing ding here. So
Yeah.
hello
I like
everyone.
the, I like the
Chat.
black everything though. It's good vibe.
Thank you. Such a great chat, and you know, when you put it in your Twitter and Instagram, I wanted to jump on because I have, you know, this is why I started my Twitch as well. It's like I'm really passionate about sharing this information because
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
I know
like,
you are.
yeah. I feel
That's
like
why
that,
I'm happy
you know,
you're here.
Yeah, we had to like work it out for ourselves, and like how many mistakes did we make along the way, and
Never
you know,
made a
like-
mistake in my life. I don't know.
I'd rather share that info, so I'm about it, you know.
And I feel like even that concept is new to the music space and the photography space within the past 10 or 20 years, because prior to this, there was so much, in the touring world, it's very like hard ass, like tough love. And in the photography world, it was kind of secretive before the age of Flickr and such, you know, and now everybody's so about sharing it. And I love it because we get to meet people and hang out. And I love that you do Twitch, but I'm happy that you're here because I'm sure you see, and I like, this is so much more accessible and known to people that, you know, maybe don't use video games like me or, you know, you know, so like, this is great. And
Twitch is a hard sell to get people over to that platform, but you know.
Yes,
But
picture this, a whole nother social network all the way over there.
I'm seeing lots of my community in the chat too. So what's up, crew? So good to see you guys here. You guys are the best.
What did you call them?
The crew.
What up, the crew? Let's go.
The crew.
All right, I'll let you pick a starting point because I know
Yes.
you've been here for most of the chat, so you know what we've talked about.
I have.
What can we talk more about?
Okay, there was something that really resonated with me. Somebody said in answering your original question, and it was that bands will not pay, and that is fundamentally untrue. That's somebody said bands just won't pay, and it's like, no, you haven't worked out how to either be prepared for them to say that they don't have a budget and then you actually not do the job. Like, that's what people are afraid of. They actually want the job, so then they will do it for free. That's essentially
you don't have any bargaining power. If you can't say no, you have no power.
Exactly. So that's the biggest issue that people are facing, is it's like they don't want to lose the job. So when somebody says we don't have a budget, they're not willing to walk away. And so you need to learn how to value yourself and put value on your work, especially if they're coming to you and asking you to do something. It's a really great time to go, this is my rate. I know that I'm worth this. And, this is what I charge. And and the other thing that people say is that you can't make a career doing this. And I've been doing this now for 10 years. I shoot exclusively music. I do press shots and
she lives on an island.
I live on a freaking island. There's less bands here, guys. So I think there's just a lot to be said about reframing how you think about the industry and how you think about yourself and how you value yourself, and understanding that if you're not willing to walk away from it, then they'll pay you nothing. Absolutely, they'll pay you nothing, because why wouldn't you do something for free? Like, they don't, like, it's less budget for them. So if you stand up for yourself and stand up for the fact that I am worth this, at what we do right now, content is king. We have the power, guys. Like, we have what they want. We have what they want, so we can't be giving away our work for free. Like, and this goes across the board. So, but to what you said at the start, Adam, was really great too. There are definitely times at the start when you're networking, and there are times to work for free, and it's working out what that is. And it's not when people are approaching you to do stuff. It's very much when you're finding your feet, getting involved in an industry. I probably shot hundreds of gigs for free at the very, very, very start. I just went to everything. I showed up. I just became part of the scene here in Australia. So it's just, I guess, finding that time when you're starting to be approached for stuff, people have noticed you, and that's when you start to click into, okay, cool, now I can charge for my work, because there's a value, they're seeing the value in the work.
It's hard. It's definitely, I'm sure you struggled, and we've all struggled. It's definitely hard at the beginning. And somebody asked a question, and I've gotten emails for this, and it's always kind of hard to help somebody wrap their head around this. They think you're like, okay, I want to shoot, Ed Sheeran's coming through. I want to shoot his concert. How come I cannot just email him or his management and say, I want to come shoot this concert. This is how much I cost. Will you hire me? How do you go about reaching out to somebody to get paid, and when does that even happen? Because I don't know, you want to talk to that point, kind of?
Yeah, that's a great point. And obviously I've said nobody work for free, and I'm going to completely renege on what I've said, because it's all about you've got to have the work to back that up first. So you've got to have a portfolio, you've got to have a reputation to know that you're going to deliver on time, all of these things. So going along to shows at the start, and the thing is, people go, I want to shoot Ed Sheeran. That's not where you start. Like, you start shooting the local.
But he doesn't move and just has a guitar. It's so much easier.
Or people
he moves. He does move.
And say, how do you go on tour with Rule? And I'm like, well, that's 10 years of work that you haven't seen. So I started shooting local hip hop shows here in Melbourne. 10 people at the show, 50 people at the show, just making sure I was part of the scene. I became friends with the bands. I never went the publication route, so I never worked for publications. I always worked direct for artists. That's the other tip that I'll have for people, is networking and making friends within the scene, because the artists and the bands are going to be the ones that hire you and pay for your time to be, you know, to be the show or to do press shots.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, there's different routes. People are on, there's a music photography world.
Yeah.
There's, like we're saying, there's publications. There's working with the artists. Hello, puppy.
That's, yeah, my husband just got home, so they're barking.
They're celebrating. Husband's
Celebrating.
home.
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
They're celebrating. They're down here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's Kelvin.
Hi.
Kelvin. Jeddah. There's Jeddah.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, there's different routes, and I wanted to be a professional music photographer, so I went down the route of, okay, I need to work, I need to do press shots, album covers, all of those things as well. That's my bread and butter. And then I do live stuff on the weekends, and then I started touring recently in the last couple of years, so a lot of 3 to 6 months of the year pre-COVID was touring as well. So yeah,
I know, right? Everything's congrats on no COVID Australia.
yes, we're
We
doing
want to
pretty
be
well at the moment.
we're going for a streak here in the US. We're trying to,
You're
we're
number
beating
one,
you,
guys.
so ha
Yeah,
ha
you guys
ha.
are USA number one. You guys are killing it. Yeah, no, we had a very hard
Literally.
lockdown last year, and we had a little quarantine leak, as we call it, a little outbreak, but I think we'll get it under control pretty quickly. So we're doing okay.
Did you just send them to New Zealand? You said, okay.
There's no COVID over there. New Zealand are doing better than us. So, like,
I know.
Shout out New Zealand. I love what
I
Connor
love
just
New
said.
Zealand and Australia.
Connor
I
just
think-
said BC before COVID. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
BCE.
That's incredible. That's so funny.
I'm so happy Connor's here. He's like the
He's the best.
he's like the sidekick of anytime somebody's doing something, he's got the good humor.
I've seen him on Clubhouse now as well. Armin was talking about Clubhouse. Can I just say, I'm addicted to Clubhouse. Like, Clubhouse is where it's at. As my husband, guys, that there is. Hi. Just got back from the gym.
Hey, husband.
Clubhouse
Jim,
is doing,
I'm so
Clubhouse is
jealous.
the vibe. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you want to jump on, I've also got a couple of new invites as well. So, someone is going to ask a really great question about age.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
you. You want to hit that? Go for it.
Oh my
Answer
god,
that.
I didn't pick up a camera until I was 31, and that usually gets people usually are shocked when I say that. But yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I did not pick up a camera until I was 31, so you're never too old. 28 is absolutely not too old.
Yeah,
Go do your thing.
everybody's got their own book. You know what I mean? Like, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Nobody in the music industry is like, yeah, but how old are you? Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody asked me. Nobody asked me how old I am, and I'd probably lie anyway. I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm 25. Look at my skin."
Your voice gets higher when you
Oh
become
my god,
25.
I'm doing the coffee. So
Okay, well, if there's one thing I know Australians love, it's coffee.
I know,
Because
I know.
Single,
Especially
I
my
love
husband.
single O. What's that? Oh, Melbourne has like the best coffee too.
Yeah.
That's where I learned to love coffee. It's
yeah, exactly. You've spoken about this before. We do have amazing coffee. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I only have a few Australia stories, so I just tell them. If somebody says Australia, I just start riffing them like coffee.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody
Ian's saying
smiles.
he needs more coffee too. So shout out to Ian. Just saw him in the chat.
What'd you say, Ian? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he's
Ian
Australian
Edward.
too.
Yeah, that's the homie. Legend,
Yeah,
legend
and
status.
Ruby.
Ruby's here. Oh my god, all of the Australian legends.
I love that when Rob was on, it was all like iterations of the band The Killers as them, and now that you're on, it's Rule, and I'm just like,
Rule and Aussie photographers. I love it.
yeah. Neil's Australian too, right? No.
Yes.
Neil-
Oh my god,
yeah, okay.
Neil. Yes, absolutely.
I knew it.
Oh my god, and Nate. Oh holy shit! This is like a chat of Aussies right now.
Yeah, but
That's
Nate's
all-
like a psychedelic artist thing.
True. I bought one of Nate's pictures actually for my stream room.
Oh wow.
yeah,
that's
because
pretty
he's so
awesome.
amazing. He's amazing. Oh my god, are you
Yeah,
okay?
dude.
Yeah, he's stroking. Okay, we're good.
Let's just get this post-workout coffee. All right, let's get some questions in here, Michelle. If there's any other
Yeah.
topics you want to riff on, go for it. But
No,
I'm just gonna
I
look
think
through the
I
questions.
ranted enough. I'm happy to take a question.
Um,
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to
really-
find. No, you're good. I love hearing what you have to say. It's nice. Like I love when you and Armin got on, and you're like, I have something I want to talk about. Here it is,
Blah.
and you just did it.
I'm like,
Um,
charge for photos, guys.
This one was actually for Armin, I think, but I think it's like maybe we can talk about like do
That's
rates
interesting.
change depending. It's different right now, right? Everything's different.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I was really worried because we were in lockdown for like 7 or 8 months, and then when I opened up, we just got a flood of bookings, and I was really nervous about would people be able to afford my rates, because I'm definitely on the higher end as well. But I've been really lucky. I haven't had to change my rates at all. Actually, I just put them up again, as I usually do at the start of the year. So so far so good. But having said that, the situation in Australia is very different, and if I was somewhere else and work was a bit more scarce and stuff, I would absolutely be flexible with my rates right now, and understanding that people, there's less income going around, and just being super flexible and open at
The economy.
all times. It's the
It's a
economy.
thing.
So it's like, what are people willing to pay? So if I started getting a bunch of clients coming back to me saying, hey, look, that's just too expensive right now, whatever, I'd start thinking about, oh shit, I need to do something about my rates. That wasn't happening. So
it's not like they're going away. So if you charge them a little less now and then in the future you work again, like that's worth more than just being like, hey, we don't want to work with you anymore.
Exactly. But great question. I think that's super relevant to everyone at the moment. So
there was actually a good question in here that I think we could go over. They didn't put it in the question thing, so I'm just going to read it out loud. But it is, wait a second. Should the photographer and basically the question is, it's from Jesse, and they want to know if photographer, videographer are separate jobs on tour, or are they mostly one thing these days? What's your opinion on that?
Good question. Okay, so it's more common that they're one job, more and more common. However,
wait 1 second.
I'm in a really lucky position. Oh my God, look at that.
He was doing something cute. He's really cute.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
He was rubbing. There he goes. What are you doing, buddy?
He's writing his goals for 2021.
He was just petting the paper, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt your question, but I know everybody likes cats." So.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's more and more common that that's actually one job. And I actually did it for one tour, one of Rule's tours to Asia in 2015, and I sucked at it so bad, and I cried every day of tour because I hate video. I hate it. It's not what I'm passionate about. I was learning how to edit on the fly. It was the worst
my goodness.
experience.
It's hard.
I just was so bad, like honestly. And then the next tour, they got Joel, who's now Rule's videographer. And so we have separate jobs, and it is the best. It is the absolute dream job. And I know that I'm super lucky and really fortunate. The whole Rule project's a little bit unique in that the creative team goes across everything. So I do his press shots, his album covers, I do his tour, I do everything, like everything photography related, which is very unique. That's an unusual situation. And then Joel does all of
You're basically his, like, you're on retain. You're working for him all the time. You're doing the press shots and everything shots. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of, it's like drop everything if it's a Rule thing. So even though I have other clients as well, he would be the major client that I have. And the creative team works very closely across everything to do with him. So video clips, we're all involved in the process, and it's a bit of a unique situation. I think if you had both of those skills, that would be definitely an advantage for you at this stage. Because it's just, think about it from a budgeting perspective. It's an extra person that they have to pay for into flights, accommodation, per diems, all of those things. So
I love the sports just came on.
Oh yeah, my husband's home now. And that's my Kendrick. Can you see my Kendrick wallpaper? That's the
wall. That's sick.
That's the entire wall that I got done of Kendrick Lamar.
That's awesome. It's like he's presenting the television.
Yeah, it's the Church of Kendrick Lamar here, guys. So
He's on mute.
Yes. No, we're just saying it just popped up, honey. It's fine.
Okay. It's mute.
It's mute. He's saying it's mute. But yeah, my husband, so the NBA is on. But yeah, there's Kendrick. Woo. Yeah.
Aren't you guys excited for the Super Bowl?
Are you? Jarvis is. Jarvis works in sports television. He's obsessed with sports. So yeah.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody wants a Kendrick Lamar wall, you can
Yeah,
go to Michelle's house and take the whole thing.
it's the entire wall. It's huge.
I was gonna say that I feel like a lot of music photographers' dream is to be, work so closely with the musician that they're their on-call or retainer person. And I think even somebody in your position who has, other clients that are a priority, it goes to say like how valuable that relationship is to you, just because, you're like, I'll drop anything for it, because that's like, that is like a career making thing,
100%.
inconsistent. And we know how inconsistent the music industry can be. So it's so sought after to have that stability.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the relationship that is the creative team that is Rule. Actually, we've been working together before we even knew who Rule was. The whole team actually worked on a previous project of mine, which was a personal project, a book on Australian hip hop. So all the same people were involved in that project that are now working with Rule. So we've known each other for a long time. We worked on different video clips together and a bunch of stuff.
That must be great.
And we're best friends. We hang out socially. Like, we genuinely love each other. We're like family. So it makes it so much more enjoyable that we're working so closely together on something, that's that big. So it's very cool.
That's awesome. Well, hell yeah. I hope that, I don't know. I hope that anybody who's in the music world that maybe is just shooting live shows or doing something is able to find something consistent like that. And it just goes to show it can take 10 years or 5 years. It can take a long time, but it's because you have to do the networking and put your time in, so don't embarrass yourself.
Networking above everything. I hate the word networking. It's actual genuine friendships. It's actually people that you genuinely love, and
it's the category. Networking sounds scummy, and we're just using it as shorthand. We don't mean like, hey, how can I do business with them?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry.
It sounds transactional, and I think it's in the music industry, it's like these are genuine friendships, and people want to hire people that they're friends with and that they want to work with, essentially. So it's really, really important to foster those relationships. I think above anything else. Like I talk about this all the time. It's really important.
Hell yeah. Well, maybe we'll do one more question, and then we'll tag Miranda in here because.
Yes, I want to hear from Miranda. Oh my God, Queen.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find another question that was asked recently.
Cool.
You don't want to answer stuff about the Killers, do you?
I probably wouldn't know too much. It would be
I know, I'm kidding. All right, I got a good one for you. I feel like you'll have a good one. Good.
Okay.
I feel like you'll know something for this.
Oh shit. Gosh.
So the question is, we'll give Michelle a little bit of time to think here. Any tips for young photographers, or maybe photographers just starting out, choosing between photography and school?
Okay, this is my answer. Because I found photography so late in my life, and when I found it, I was like, this is, it's not a job. This is like, Beth was talking on this before, like, even if I'm not getting paid, I want to be taking photos. Like, this is my life. This is my passion. This is everything to me. So if you feel like that about photography, then I would say you're making the right choice. And if you're putting, I think Armin was saying not putting all your eggs in one basket and then having a side job. I did the exact opposite. And I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm saying that everybody has a different path. I went all eggs in one basket. If this doesn't work out, I'm kind of screwed. So my point being, if you feel like it's your passion and you feel like you can genuinely do this, you have to put in 100%. You cannot half-ass this. There's not one music photographer that I know that doesn't work 3,000 times harder than anyone else I've ever met. They're just relentless hustlers, really good people person, constantly networking, constantly working, constantly making connections. So if you're the type of person that's like that and you think that that's a career for you, then I would 100% recommend it. If you want something to fall back on, then go to school and study something, and maybe you can do it later on. Maybe you can pick it up. And like I said, I picked up a camera at 31, so it's never too late.
And if you're going to school for photography, that's good, but that won't get you, like, use it as a way to learn the photography. But like Michelle was saying, it's the networking and the people that really enable your success in this career. So if that's your route, I would suggest business school or something that helps you be better at business, so that the photography you can kind of, it's important, but it's not a very, like, how good you are is very, it backs up your business and your networking. But if you're not the greatest, that's okay. Like,
yeah,
you
most
could
of the
like
photographers I know are self-taught. Most people just picked up a camera and off there. The business school thing, that's a great tip. So many people suck at the business. Like, I think that's really good advice.
And it takes so long to learn. I wish I went to school for it. But if you're good at business and not photography, go to school for photography. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said I'm okay at the business stuff because I was kind of in marketing and business roles before I was a photographer. But I know a lot of friends, and that's why I like to give advice in this stuff, like just share all this information, because not everyone's really not great at it. So I'm happy to help wherever.
Yes. Sorry, my cat keeps playing with a mint, and it's really cute, so I keep looking at him. Mark, what are you doing, buddy?
Love it.
Oh my God. I love animals. I know you do too. I know you got dog emails.
I do. They're both here. They're just right next to me, just like hanging out. Where's the other one?
Mark might embarrass me if I pick him up because he gets mad sometimes, so I don't want to do it on screen. Much better. Hey, puppies.
They're being cute.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Thanks for stopping
you.
in.
Great
Have
chat.
a wonderful day.
I can't wait to hear from Miranda, so I'm super excited.
All right, we'll see you in chat.
See you
I don't
guys.
want to kick you out, so can
That's
you
right,
just...
I'll kick myself out.
Can you... All right, I feel bad. I don't like pushing an X on your face. It's weird.
Bye, guys.
All right, peace. Michelle has left. Okay. Everybody say thank you, Michelle, in chat. If you're here, maybe you're just listening, that's okay. But take 2 seconds and, tell her thanks and give her a little follow. She's an Australian music photographer. Miranda, are you there? My friend. Miranda. I expect a plant. I'm sending you a request. And if you've left, with the sunlight.
Ooh, does the light look
wow.
Look at this view.
You're definitely in LA.
Definitely in LA.
How's it going?
Oh, I've never done an Instagram live before.
You and me both, other than the past 2 hours. I've done it maybe like forever ago, but they like made it so much better,
Yeah. No, I watch them almost every day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hell yeah. Well, I don't intake too much content. Maybe I should intake more, but I like talking to people, so.
Dude, I didn't use your phone for a whole month and a half, almost.
I know. People would agree with you. It was frustrating when I would like leave and then my girlfriend like couldn't contact me. But it was nice to just like not have something going off in my pocket and being able to like hold a thought, because I'm just all over the place sometimes.
We're showing animals really quick. This is Jade. Can you see her?
Wait. Oh, cat?
Jade.
Oh, is she inside the window?
I'll see if she wants to come outside, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Armin said, damn, she's got a real life Zoom background.
Can't complain.
How have you been doing?
Good. I feel like things are kind of picking up. At least they're better than the start of the year,
Yeah.
Not anything.
Not saying much, but I agree.
Yeah. Have you been shooting at all? Like busy, kind of?
Not shooting. I've been doing a podcast and I've been doing my agency, so helping other people shoot, but I haven't really shot. I've been pretty homebody, just working out of the office. I like live music photography. That is really my calling and my favorite thing. So I'll
your photos show it, so.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Dang, we've had like have you been here for most of the stream? I know you said you were doing something around the beginning, but
Yeah, I'm in probably like 15 minutes before Beth got off.
Okay, cool. So you caught a little bit of Rob, and then, right?
Yeah.
Rob was right before Beth? Yeah, okay.
No. 15 minutes left of Beth. Like towards the
I got you. She had 15 minutes left.
She was
I got you. So you missed Rob. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good. Yeah, basically, I mean, I know you know the question. Today we're just talking about, should people get paid, or when is it okay to do it for free? Kind of everything in that space. Is there anything that like stuck out to you that you're like, I want to talk about this thing?
Yeah, I think the diverse portfolio is super important.
Oh, I saw you put that in chat. You like diverse portfolio?
Yeah.
You put like an arrow to yourself.
Yeah, 'cause I think like if for me personally, if I didn't have other stuff to shoot besides music,
Mm-hmm.
they're not my favorite things to shoot, but I would be screwed. Like that's really me financially, you know,
Yeah.
because this is my full-time gig. It's been I think 5 years in September. So
Congratulations.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, Jade does want to say hi. You ready?
Cat.
Can you see
Hello, Cat. Damn, she's pretty.
Oh, runs into the phone. But yeah, I think a diverse portfolio is super important because, like, I don't even know how to word it, but it's like you need to be able to do different stuff. If you, I don't even know how to explain it,
You're
but
basically saying, like, you know, if music isn't able to pay your bills, then it's easier to kind of audible and maybe do something for an influencer or a portrait shoot to make some money while you wait for music to catch up. And I mean, I think a lot of people would phrase it in the normal world as like, you know, they do their day job during the day and their passion at night. And although both of your things are photography, sometime, like I know you started shooting like, or maybe you were working in food service or doing another job, and you did that, and then you did photography on the side, and then eventually that photography took over. And then, you know, that can be the same for different genres of photography too. Like, hey, I do wedding photography, but I'm working on my music portfolio. Eventually said we'll take over. I don't know. Am I wrong anywhere?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think to tie it back in, like, if you want to tour with an artist, usually you'll do portraits also. So if you already have experience, like directing someone to do a different pose, then you're a bit more comfortable when you first start doing that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like every type of photography some way trains you for something in the music world. It's like
100%.
wedding photography, lifestyle, sports photography is live photography. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just fun because, like, with this job, you never stop learning, and there's always something new to learn.
Yeah. And how much do you think, like, so now that music's gone this last year, were you able to kind of just switch it up real easily? You're like, oh, well, I mean, I know you show a lot of different stuff, but like, what have you been spending most of this last year on?
God, I mean, it's been a very slow last couple months, but before that,
Yeah.
like, behind the scenes for music videos, which was super fun, which ties right into music. Like, the people that you tour with usually will have you out to shoot behind the scenes. I've been doing some portraits for like merch for influencers, like the stuff with David, and then I've been doing like corporate stuff, which isn't what's your cat doing?
Not my cat, it's my girlfriend, because you said David. And she goes, she got home like 30 minutes ago and she's watching the stream, but like in the same room as me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I couldn't hold back laughter because I knew she
Oh
was
no,
laughing. Not laughing at you, but yeah. So I keep going. My bad.
no, dude, you're all good. I've also been doing like corporate stuff,
Yeah.
which isn't my favorite, most exciting thing in the world, but it is decent money, and you get used to it, I guess. And then you have to do this stuff for fun, like a creative shoot just with your friend in your neighborhood to balance it out, because like
Yeah.
forget that you like your job when you're doing stuff you don't want to do, you know?
At least it's like nice that in photography you can do stuff for money that, even though it's not your favorite, it's still photography. Where
Right.
maybe somebody who, I don't know, is working on becoming a pro skateboarder, they can't do that during the day to get paid also, you know? So it's kind of nice, at least it improves your passion too.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is, I don't know, it's cool. There's so many worlds within photography.
Oh, all the wedding stuff. For some reason, I don't feel pressure at weddings. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's one of the things I did very first when I started.
Yeah.
Like, once you just get the flow down, it's like, it's a long ass day, but it's not that, I don't find it that intimidating.
Yo, I've done a few weddings during COVID, and it's been such a good
Wow.
learning thing, because they've been like 4-person weddings. And
What?
it's been so good for learning, because I'm like,
Yeah.
4 people, I could do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 200 people? Yeah, it's a little harder.
Yeah.
But, you
Were they like elopements in nature, or were they like at the courthouse? How was it?
know. One of them was like, it was more like 15 people, but it was their family, and it was on like mountain
Ooh.
like during this in like August in the what's it east on the East Coast. It was beautiful. It was somewhere outside of New York, and the other one was like in Florida, and it was just they had it like at a hotel venue, but it was just like the bride, the groom, and their parents, and it
Fun.
was just like they still did everything, and then they live streamed
Aw.
to their friends, so it was kind of cool.
I
It
kind of
was
like that. Yeah, that's a creative way to do it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot, and then some. One person I is actually doing two weddings. They did like one this year for real, and they're doing one next year to like make up with it. So
Yeah, that's what my best friend did. They had like their tiny one with immediate family in August, and then supposed to be doing the real one this summer. We'll see.
yeah,
COVID, man.
COVID's so weird, man.
I know.
Have you been to LA this whole time?
Pretty much, yeah. My family's up in the Bay Area, so I went around Christmas time for a couple weeks. But yeah,
Okay.
otherwise just hanging here.
My
I mean,
question
not
is,
that bad.
are you still living alone? Do you still have a whole place to yourself?
Yes, yeah. My
Okay,
roommate
because
it's still just me and Jade. I think he'll be back
before
soon.
I knew that your roommate toured or something, and that's why they weren't home. And now
Yeah.
it's just,
Yep. Yeah, no, he's still out and about, but I think he's
Okay.
coming in a couple weeks. So
well, that's awesome that you were able to like kind of switch it up, find a way to make it work. And I mean, I feel like people can do that even if, I don't know, even if it's not COVID, right? If it's just anything.
Yeah.
But I know you have like a pretty good story about how you got into music photography. And I know it was, I don't know, do you want to share it? Because a lot of people want to like know how to get into music photography. Do you want to talk about yours a little bit?
yeah, I'd love to. So it's really weird because it kind of just fell into my lap, which sounds crazy, but I was basically working as a server at this restaurant in downtown San Diego, and it was also a nightclub. So like electronic artists would play. Basically, I'd go clock in at 4 o'clock, set up the restaurant, serve dinner till 11, and then change into show blacks and shoot the club from like 11 to 2 every weekend for almost 2 years. So from that's where I met different people, and I like would literally serve the artists.
That was like your foot in.
Yeah, I was in the room, right? Even though I was like serving sushi to people, which was good money, but
Yeah.
it it put me in the room with these people, and I would serve them dinner and kind of joke about it and be like, oh yeah, like I'm your photographer later too. So it was like an easy icebreaker, and I'm still friends with a lot of those people.
I think it's cool that like you have that route that is like a little bit more organic and like, hey, I'm working here and then I'm also doing this and I'm kind of slowly getting into industry. And then we have Michelle, who is a little bit more like, this is what I'm doing. We had Rob, who kind of, shot for wire services and did that for a long time and then switched to a different kind of photography or switched to work for an artist. And Armin, who I actually don't 100% remember how he got into music photography, but I know he I know he did a lot of stuff. I know he just made it work. And I don't know, it's cool, all these different stories.
Yeah. The thing with Tyga where he just like DM'd him to go on tour, that would be fucking insane.
He's a good storyteller. I love when Armin tells story. I'm like, I'm gonna shut up.
Oh yeah.
Got
I
it on
was
lock.
fully in the live with you guys during that.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, he's good at it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So I mean, just to piggyback off what Miranda said, like whatever situation you're in, wherever you're at, you can find a way to get into music photography. It's all about networking, all about meeting people. So of course, work on your photography. It's important you get better, but you don't have to be the greatest. You just gotta meet people, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think like it's really as simple as going and introducing yourself to someone. Like in like a genuine way. Just be friendly and be open to whatever might come your way, right?
Yes.
Like don't and say yes to everything. For the first few years I said yes to every time a friend would hit me up to take photos for them, I would say yes.
Hell yeah. You're the go-to person. All right, I have a question before I ask this question. Are you comfortable answering on stream a question regarding gender in the industry, or would you rather have something not so deep?
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
What
Yeah, I'll give you the question. Wait, what'd you say?
Is it just about how it's like how it is being a female versus male in like the industry? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I think. I just, I didn't like preface this chat with, hey, we're going to go deep on gender issues. So I just wanted to make sure you're okay going on that level before I threw it on you.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a woman in the industry, what were some obstacles? The others might not have to. Well, I think obviously there's a lot more men in the photo pit all the time. We can both agree with that. It's changing though, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, we're working on it.
We're
Yo,
making it happen. There's
can I just
all women.
can I celebrate something really fast?
Yes.
I have a podcast that I do about touring in general. It's not just photography, and usually about half of our listeners are female, according to Spotify. And I'm like, let's go.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. I'm stoked.
Dude, congrats. That's fucking awesome.
All right, I'm done bragging. You go.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I? So it's male dominated, but I think the main obstacle with being a girl was like, I think people almost doubt your ability to do things, if that makes sense. Like, we have to work a little bit harder and like prove ourselves more, like at first, to prove that we deserve to be there, which I honestly don't mind doing. I don't think it's fair, but I also like to prove people wrong. So I think that's my main thing that I've noticed.
That makes sense. So it's like you have to like prove that you're on whatever level they think you need to be on to kind of play, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't get taken as seriously at first. And I don't know if that's just like me and what I'm noticing, or if it's, if it's
your experience or if it's everybody's experience. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And maybe it's because I think when I started, I was like 20. It's like 20 or 21. So it's pretty young too. And I just look young. So it's like, who's this 17-year-old girl trying to...
I can relate on that one. I remember, not a gender issue, just a me issue. And I had long hair. So sometimes they did think that I looked very feminine. So I understand the feeling of somebody being like, why the fuck is that person here?
But then they see your photos and they're like, oh shit, they're actually really badass. Let's hire them for more shoots. So
I know, right? Your work speaks for itself, basically, which is, but I can understand it be really frustrating to be like, it's hard to like meet somebody and have them not care about you and then have to be like, well, wait till you see my photos and then they care about you. It's such a bad feeling to like see somebody else's change when they like, and that's why like when I was talking about networking with Michelle, it's like really important that when you meet somebody, you're making a genuine friendship. You're not valuing them based on what they do or anything like that. And then, interacting with them like that. I don't know.
I think we talked about this a bit when I did your Twitch
thing.
Yeah. That was during COVID. Holy shit.
That was like 6 months ago.
I know. We talked about just like how being a genuine person can get you so much further than being a dick. And it's just easier to be nice.
What'd you say? What was the last thing you said?
It's just easier to be nice. Like, you should
for
never
most people.
You should never go into a conversation like expecting someone to do something for you or like get you a certain thing, which people do all the time.
Oh I'm sure. I'm so bad at navigating those situations. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
I know. Like, I'm just
trying to hang out.
Press a button for a living. Like, it's not that crazy.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Let me look at these questions a little bit more. But if you see anything in chat you want to react with, go for it.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I found a good one.
Oh, Cece's in here. She was our lighting director on Julia's last tour.
What's her name?
CCLD Inc. Which is wonderful. We call it Cupcake.
All right. I want to connect with her. I want to meet more women in the industry. So connect me, Miranda.
I will.
Shoot me a DM. All right. I put a question on the screen. The question is,
any advice?
Yeah. Do you have any advice for directing portrait shoots and feeling confident doing so?
God, still get nervous every time. Like, even if I know the person very well, I think it's because like when you want to do a really good job, you don't like, you care more and then you get more nervous. But I think that my main tip would be just go in acting like you know exactly what you're doing. And if you don't know how to direct them or like what you want them to do, just keep making them move.
Yeah.
Right? Because then like they're going to get more comfortable. You're going to start being like, okay, that looks cool. That doesn't. Instead of just like standing there and being like, okay, now what? Which it happens all the time. But if you just like keep the movement, then you start to get some poses that you like more.
Yeah, you got to get people in like their natural flow.
Right.
I can relate to this because I recently had a friend of mine hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm managing this new artist. I want you to do a photo shoot with him." And I'm like, the worst part about shooting a new artist is like when they try to do a photo shoot to me, like a professional artist does. And a professional artist has done this a million times. They can go into a studio and knock the shot out easy. But a newer artist, you almost just need to hang out with, because anything else is gonna like pull them out of their element, and they're just gonna be like stiff. And I'm just like, let's just hang out for a day, because this dude doesn't know. You know. You
My
gotta run away,
cat
Jay.
almost just jumped on the. She almost jumped on the ledge, and I live on the 3rd floor. So,
Dude, what's
she's
up with cats doing shit like that? I'm like, come on now.
like, you will die. Oh, you can't be doing that. Oh my god.
My mom visited us like 3 weeks ago and brought her cat, and it was just jumping on my balcony, like weaving inside the railing. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, that, care about yourself. What are you doing?
Oh my god. I forgot what the question was. I got distracted because, yeah, my bad.
What did you say?
I just
What
got
did-
distracted. I totally forgot the question.
Oh, no, you already answered it. It was about posing people and like how you make them feel comfortable and
Great.
all that
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
If it's someone new that you're working with, like, I love starting with just having a coffee and just like easing into it. Like, if you have the studio for a few hours, like 15, 20 minutes isn't going to really set you back, you know?
Agreed. Just get in the zone. All right, last question, because it kind of pertains to what we're talking about. For some reason, my voice is dying, so I'm gonna stop after this because it's going hoarse. But this person wants to know. Let's see, it's C. I don't know how to say your name. So this person is charging a tiny fee worse than working for free. What do you think? No wrong answers, Miranda.
Yeah. So, like, I think everyone basically has said, like, there's a time and place to work for free, and you kind of have to get your footing in and all that stuff. I think, like, in our gut, we know if something feels right. So, like, if doing a tiny fee feels right and you feel like you're going to be helping this artist out, like, for example, if it's a smaller artist and, like, your homies with management and they're like, hey, we only have this money. I know that you usually charge more. Are you free to do like a shorter session or something like that? Like, if they're willing to work with you, then, and if you feel appreciated. But I think
Yeah,
if
I think
assumed,
you
it's
made it. Sorry, go.
I just think if it's like an assumption that you'll work for cheaper, then like that kind of like feels a little bit off-putting. But if someone comes in like very grateful and very appreciative of you, then I think it's okay to work for a little cheaper sometimes.
Yeah, and I think you made a really good point there where it's like, you know, if they're acknowledging that they understand that you're worth more than this, that's a really big deal, because the one issue I have about charging less is you don't want to be put into that bracket of, hey, when we need to do a shoot we don't care about or something we don't have a big budget for, let's hit up Miranda. And then when they get to something bigger, they're like, oh, let's get, you know, somebody else. It's nicer when it's like, hey, can you do us this style this time? But of course, when we need something else and we have budget, we can't wait to pay you what we value you at.
Right. Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, especially because like some people don't have that much money sometimes. If it's a developing artist, like they only have a couple $100, you know. So
Armin, sorry, I'm laughing at Armin. He said Miranda's popular champs. Well, I know that we didn't have you on for that long, but I hope it's okay that we finish this up in the interest of my voice. Is that okay?
absolutely, yes. You need to go have a cup of tea and relax.
I know. I'm going to drink. My water bottle ran out like 20 minutes ago, so maybe that's why. But thank you for doing this. Hopefully we can do something. Maybe I'll start hitting up some companies and try to do something a little bit more official. But I appreciate you taking time to come on here.
Yeah.
And also expressing interest and, you know, give me a little kick to actually do the damn thing. So I appreciate it.
Oh, dude, of course. Thanks for having me and for giving me my first Instagram Live. Crazy.
All right, let's do it. We'll do more, and I look forward to seeing you IRL eventually. Everybody say thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Miranda.
Bye, guys.
All right, peace. All right, guys. Gonna finish this up. Obviously, thank you everybody for coming. If you, I don't know, if you want to hang out, if you want to tour, if that's something you want to do, I'm doing a podcast right now. That's my most recent thing, and there's a lot of photographers in there. So if you want to come hang, go for it. It's called Don't Shit on the Bus, don'tshitonthebus.com. Connor's in there and all that jazz. Oh, I'm not trying to take over Miranda. Thank you time. Thank you everybody for being so kind to these guests. Thank you for all the people who came on here. I appreciate it dearly. I'm sorry we couldn't get more of you on here, but we'll do more in the future. We'll figure something out. We got a lot of good people here supporting each other. That's the goal. And yeah, I'm gonna head out here. I'll try to upload this somewhere and I'll make sure to try to save it here. So don't press anything wrong, but take care guys. We'll catch you around. All right, peace.